Welcome back to another week and another episode of the Red Wagon Inn. We got our Jakey boy back joining us again this week. Now that he's back, we had to trade out Brie though. She's actually not feeling very good, so she won't be on this week. She'll come back next week, but we got the Jakey boy replacing her, one queen for another. We're here and good to go. Thank you all for joining us, and we're very excited for what we've got this time, and I'm very excited to see what Jakey is going to make up since he has no idea what happened the last 2 weeks. He's got a lot of catching up to do, and it is actually 2 weeks since he's been here, so it's a lot of stuff going on. So with that, we have quite a bit of art to show you all from some amazing artists that did the art this week. And then we'll get to shilling, because that's what we do here. We shill for Drew. But first, we have 3 different pieces of art from Blazeland and Sunday Bar, because some people rocked it this week with just a ton of art. One from Blazeland, which is Emma, which is really, really cool looking. I love the flowers in the background on that one. They also made art of XC, which is kind of the spaghetti circuit going up into the spaghetti brain. It's kind of, that guacamole spaghetti, the green kind. But then also art of the little zombie goblins that now belong to Winter, as she is the queen with the savage Coracrucian staff. I really like this one a lot. And then art for the first time from Sunday Bar, which is killing it here, did art in a kind of comic book style of Emma with a piece of paper to show emotion for winking, which is awesome. And did another comic book style thing here with We'll Do Great Things Together, This Is Fine, and Concern. Absolutely great. And then also did art of every single one of the characters. So I don't know if everybody's seen these or not yet, but they're all absolutely killer. And it's kind of cool to see everyone. Right? Yeah.
It's so good.
It's cool seeing all of them lined up like that. And we need to also get Winter a skull throne like that, just like Emma, since, she's queen and whatnot now. Sol Wesson has a RIP sign for Peggy, which if you didn't see last week, I guess spoilers, but should have seen last week. And Alyssa Death, also for spoilers last week, has art of the Eldritch Kraken coming through the tunnel, which is probably my favorite of the week. I don't know. It's just so good. And yeah, rip Peggy in the chat. We have a couple other things going on, but before we continue, is there anything that we need to shill?
Did you get you missed one?
Did I? What'd I miss?
Yeah, my latest one as well.
I thought, is that the one with the flames?
No, the one from behind aiming towards the city. And I actually have the artist name ready to go.
Oh, shoot. I totally missed that one then. I will get that one after the break. I'll add it in. I was looking for the fire one, and that's the XC one I saw. I missed that one. So we have one more piece of fan art, or commissioned art, either one. But awesome work, everybody, this week. We have one more thing of art that Drew did, which we will show later in the episode today. But is there any shilling that needs to go on? Perfect, because Drew said he doesn't want people shilling anymore. So I'm going to shill for him. Go check out Drew's shop here. He still has a few pieces of dice that need to go. Take a look at this amazing set of dice right here. Just absolutely killer. And at 25% off, no less. What a champ that guy is. And look at his new mug. Look at his new mug.
That's 2 of those dice for free.
It's an Emma mug.
Also, just to add, I just got like my D&D group, who's like all new players, their first ever sets of dice from Drew as a big gift thing, and they literally started their pants with excitement. Like, honest to God, it was great seeing their little faces when they saw the dice. They are magical. Get them as a gift. Get them for yourself. Eat them. Do whatever you want with them. Do a kickflip holding them. Do it.
Drew released
Howard.
money. Sent him the bill for the advertising on Level Up TTV.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's that?
Yeah, Drew's going to cover my Dice Encounters tramp stamp I'm getting for advertising permanently above my butt when everyone looks.
Absolutely cover that. I'm getting a tattoo from you. You can get a tattoo from me. It'll be great.
Fair trade.
I do have a pre-order coming up next Monday that I realized I won't be able to shill next Tuesday because it'll be sold out on Monday. I guarantee it.
Drew, if
pre-order's so good that'll make you get it.
Hey,
Drew, if you shill on this channel, we're gonna have to charge you. It's our job to shill for you. Then it's okay.
Sorry. I'll shut up.
But sick Emma mug, my guy. And speaking of tramp stamp tattoos, if somebody gets the Twin Tig OnlyFans drawing that Jakey did with their butt cheek matching Twin Tig's butt cheek, I'll pay for it. Absolutely.
Don't tempt me with a good time. I love tattoos.
Take my saying.
This is where I roll up my sleeve and just say, "Already done."
Awesome. Yeah, with that, is there anything else anybody has before we get started?
Just excited to be back.
Yeah, we are excited to have you too. And with that, let's go ahead and do a roll off. And Jakey, you can roll off too. And if you get it, then you can choose who does the roll off.
Ooh, I might get to pick
15.
6.
14. 4.
12.
Oh, hey, it's
I
Alex
don't get
this
to
time.
pick.
Or
Alex, hit us up with that recap. And if you could, this time, since Jakey was gone, give us a general overview of what's happened since the very first time we went and came upon this hole in the ground.
you want me to do like a multi recap?
I'll give you 2
God.
inspos if you can do it.
Ooh.
3. All right. So this is for Jakey and all my guys in the back there who may have missed the last 2 episodes. What were you guys doing? So we found a hole by accident, a trap style hole, and some of us fell down it and some of us climbed down it, and there was a bunch of tunnels and a bunch of goblins. The goblins secured our at that time necromancer, and took her down the holes deeper and deeper, and Emma Ordell went after them while Ashford and XC stayed up the top of the hole. It went all the way down through this network of tunnels, including this nearly Disney-esque style cart ride where they went into a cart that you could activate a lever at one end and it would shoot all the carts to the other end, and then a lever at the other end would shoot it back. And they ended up in this giant cave where there was all these undead goblins and a dwarf. And Ordell tried to muscle his way. It didn't work, so he, in a huff, went back up and lamented in a corner somewhere, while Emma and why have I blanked on Brie's character's name? Oh my god.
Opposite
Fall.
of the character from the
Spring.
first.
Oh, of
campaign.
course. I mean, how did I forget that? Emma and Winter continued to go further and talk to these gobbos and this dwarf. And at the same time, Ashton was teaching XC how to lie, which did go very, very well. Anyway, long story short, dwarf had a staff. Staff was actually a super magic item that was controlling everything. Winter said, "Oh, I'm going to grab this staff and become the new queen of all these undead." It turned her undead. Emma and her had a bit of a tiff. XC and Ashrin, moving on to the second episode now, sort of came down. Ordell brought them back down and sort of said, "Hey, they're over there. Go help them. Something's going on. I'm going to sit here and play a little bit." We started to go down. Hilarity ensued when it came to working out these carts, when you had people at one end and people at the other end and multiple carts going back and forth. While these carts were traveling back and forth, they were going over this large chasm that had this thing moving underneath it, eyes and potentially other things. Anyway, we pulled the carts enough times to cause one of the carts to sort of fall apart. Winter had befriended or raised a couple of goblins. A couple of them got killed. Giant tentacles appeared. This giant eldritch creature started coming out through the chasm. Everyone ran towards the exit hole while tentacles were chasing them. It was definitely a very fun scene to watch. And then we all climbed up the hole with the tentacles trying to get out. And that's pretty much where we're up to at the moment.
2 things. One, Jakey's face when you mentioned giant eldritch tentacle thing. Second, Jakey, I had to control your character, so you didn't really get much leeway in this. Alex, what did Ordell see on the way up from the very last time?
He saw the horrible DM's funness of removing Drew's 10 inspirations by giving him a magic chest full of items that he couldn't see because Emma was passed out and Ordell was carrying him.
I think, Alex, since you got 2 of them there, you absolutely can get your 2 inspos if you tell me, because you said Ordell tried to muscle his way through and came back. Why did Ordell leave Emma and Winter down in that hole for a while?
Because he was having a moment.
Because he was having a
Be-
moment after.
Because the Emmas and Winters wanted to play with the goblins and he didn't.
True. And Emma scolded him hard for it.
Yeah.
Old it.
Yeah. Okay. So 2 inspos to Alex. I'm totally fine with that. Congratulations. You did a double inspo episode. Very, very good.
Emma was being a spooky bitch, but more emphasis on the bitch.
Okay, that got me. If you aren't prepared for next week is episode 10. So whoever gets that one, it won't be me. I'm going to make it be one of the players has to do a 10 episode recap for a chance at 5 inspirations.
I've got a doctor's appointment next week.
Too bad.
I don't want the inspirations anymore. I just don't want them.
So yeah, Jakey,
I
when
do.
you were going up this tunnel carrying Emma and one of the dead goblins, your hands were full as you were being levitated, and you saw a chest that had like come out of a broken rock that was sealed in the stone. Didn't really care much about it after you left. You mentioned at one time the party didn't care, so now it's a non-factor and people aren't going back to it. But I told the party, I might as well tell everybody else, since party basically said, yeah, we're not going back for that after the episode. That was an ion stone of wisdom in there for Emma, which might have been very useful for this cleric in our group, but whoopsies, shouldn't have been unconscious. Right. Last thing before we get started, the giveaways for tonight are 2 mystery tokens. We have 2 tokens for tonight. If you win one of them, it will affect the game in some way, shape, or form. You can save them or use them. It's up to you. But with that, grab a drink, pull up a chair, come hang out with us as Alex explains one more thing before we start the Red Wagon Inn.
They are so good that every time you use them, especially with like a critical hit against the big boss, it ruins everything Ryan had in play.
Yep, that's how it's worked so far anytime anybody crits. Usually social rolls, but sometimes the kill rolls work too. But right, as the party had left, you had escaped the hole. There was one other thing that had happened. You all moved further to the north. You got good enough. I'm not going to ding you on this one. You moved further to the north.
Came out of the ring.
Yeah, moved further to the north. Ritter came out of the ring, and Emma went inside the ring. They swapped places, and Ritter is now out. Ritter held the book that was to Emma's warlock patron and all the explanations about that. Unable to read part of it, but the common translation on the other side did not depict things in a good light for Emma or their patron. It implied a world of shadow and wanting to rule over the dominion of Asterion. And so Ritter is a bit concerned, which is kind of where we left it off last time. As Ritter now stares down, looking at the book with Winter, Ashrin, XC, and Ordell staring nearby. It is maybe about 3 in the afternoon, we'll say, right now. The clouds are still overhead, rolling with thunder, but there's enough light coming through to where you can see, no problems. You're at the base southeastern part of the Black Forest. There's a lot of forest left to go, but you're currently sitting in a small clearing as Ritter looks down at the book and says, "We need to be able to discuss this. This is troubling to me. I didn't have anything to do but read, and this is the one book that I got to read. This is the one that I started, and this is what I saw. I don't even know what is in the rest of her library. Ashrin, you were in there for some time. Did you have a chance to see anything? It worries me greatly."
Honestly, it smelled so musty in there. I didn't want to touch anything.
I wouldn't think that an unwilling would be able to sweat or leave a smell, but I noticed it too. Emma, you can hear and see all of this from inside the ring still, as your name is
Look up
tarnished.
through the rings like you sons of bitches.
As Ritter goes down to pick up the book, he walks it over and hands it to Ashrin. Says, "Look, it's as I described. I would at least like an explanation as to why this book was in her library."
So, Ritter is holding it, right? Like it's not
He
like it's
hands it to
something that
you. Yeah. It's a physical thing.
I carefully and gently like open up the cover.
Okay. Go ahead
Is
and
it-
roll an investigation for me.
Yeah. Oh, that's not the best. 12.
12. At a cursory glance, you're not wanting to spend time sitting here and saying, hold on, let me read everything. You just kind of thumb through the pages to get a general idea. And what Ritter described to you seems accurate. There's on the left side, on each left page, is written in some language that you have no comprehension or understanding of, but written in common on the right side, seemingly to be a translation and a mirror, as every now and again there are pictures of that left side. If he's telling the truth about that, he's probably telling the truth about the rest. But if you want to really dive into it, you'd have to spend some time to take a look at this book. But other than that, you're just trusting him at his word right now.
We have some time, right? I mean, do we have anything else planned? It's not even that late in the day. I could take a deeper look.
I imagine that Emma is in the book or in the ring for as long as we are. Been in there for a while. We can at least have some formulation of what to say, but it's also daylight and it's probably good to move here instead of at night. I don't know.
Ashrin would like to take him for his word, but also is not completely trusting of him yet, so she kind of wants to have her own look in the book.
Yeah, absolutely.
So she'll kind of hold on to it and then just tell the rest of the group, like, I don't want to be sitting ducks. I don't want to be a target for anybody. If anyone wants to move, I can take a look at this later.
It's not my call to make. I just think it's something that needs to be addressed. I'm an outsider in this group by comparison.
All of us have baggage of some kind. There is one of us that uses magic that involves themselves. There's a Warforged who constantly has flashbacks. We have someone who is now carrying a gnarled staff. The book is the least of our concerns. I believe even you, Ritter, will likely have some skeletons in your closet.
Agreed, but they remain there, part of the past. As far as what I've seen in the book, it seems recent. At least recently written in.
Like Emma was adding to this book, or something else added to the book?
He kind of points to Ashrin as if like to take a look at the book for yourself. He goes, that's fresh ink in the book.
What does the last page say?
Ashrin, if you'd like to flip through it, you can.
Yeah, I do.
As Ashrin turns to the last page, Emma, what is translated upon the right side in common? Again, kind of the Spark Notes or the we're toning it down for those who can't read this language version.
For the end of it, it would probably say, I managed to contact her. It's been 800 years since I've talked to her. But it seems she's still in good enough spirits, enough to still be trying to do what she's wanted all along. If I stay out of her way, maybe she'll stay out of mine.
So this is Emma's journal that we're reading.
I don't know. I'd like to ask her.
Then we speak to her when she's out of the ring. For now, you all do what you wish, but I will not invade someone's privacy.
Agreed.
Yeah, it's just, as much as she pisses me off, now it feels a little invasive.
I didn't mean for it to be invasive. I thought I was imprisoned in a ring for a while. I didn't know how long I would be there.
Right.
Which is fair. We're not blaming you, Ritter.
Either way.
And while we all are chosen family, we, like Cordell said, have skeletons in our closet, and we all really don't know each other yet. But we could take this journey as an opportunity to, and let people tell us when they're comfortable. And then I take the book and I put it in a bag that
And
I am assuming I have.
Emma now pops out of the ring. She has a completely new outfit on. As she brushed off some dust off her shoulders, she says, and some of us have actual skeletons in our closet.
As
I get
Drew has amazing artwork for the new outfit for Emma that has spent 16 hours on, 15 of which was, a nap, but 16 hours on this. Very good art, my guy. You were sending it to me throughout the week as you kept making stuff on it. Very impressed.
you
So
did the
very good.
crown. It looks so
Did the
good.
crown. Emma.
I give the journal back. I was
yeah.
like, oh, well, before it even touches my bag, I give it to Emma. Emma, this
Mhm.
is yours.
Yeah, yes, I know. Thank you. And Emma's going to take the book. And then she's going to immediately pop back into the ring. She's going to put the book in her shelf, and then she's going to pop back out of the ring.
Winters. Emma,
Mm-hmm.
could you have done that at any time? Because I feel like that's something that you might should have told us. I would have liked to have had my friend out of the ring. We asked for that like a lot.
I've already told you the reason Ritter got stuck in there in the first place was because my patron wanted to learn more about him. Same reason anyone's been stuck in this ring, same reason Ashran was. I have no control over this.
You seem to have some level of control. Just looking at the facts here, you do a little. You did just go in and out.
To also be fair, my patrons had 800 years to learn about me, so I don't think there's much more that she reasonably could want to learn from me. Therefore,
Is
I'm
there
allowed
something
out.
to gain from us?
Well, absolutely. You are all new people, and that's why I didn't want you to touch the ring in the first place, Ordell. That's why I
Incorrect.
don't want anyone to
Can
go in the
confirm.
ring.
Ordell and Exie are not new people.
New to the ring. I'm sorry. You have a plethora of knowledge and life experiences that can be learned upon, and that's why I got so angry with you, and I do apologize. I've had a moment to sit back and step back from this moment, but I do apologize. It was rather hasty of me to yell at you, Odell. I'm just simply looking out for your well-being, and I don't want her to learn anything more than she needs to know.
She ever give answers?
She's difficult to deal with. The book that you had found, as she gives a side glance over to Ritter, started out as a book written by, I would assume, one of her previous. I don't know a good term for this.
Patrons.
Yes, that would be good. It was written, but in her native language, and I've just continued adding on to what I know. And well, what more can I say?
It's okay. Fine. I don't know you or your patron all that well, but the book was sorry, it had very concerning information to me, at least.
Well, it should have concerning information for everyone. My patron is not a good person. Not even a person at all, actually. But
They
yeah.
want to rule Asterion as a whole?
Yeah, they do. They do, in fact.
And you want to help them?
I wouldn't say I want to help them, but I'm not going to get in their way.
Why are you paying patronage to them? Is that not something by choice?
It was a deal we had made. I was given 3 wishes. I made my wishes, and just as the old fable of the monkey paw, they all came back to bite me in my ass. So, yes, I made a deal with this. I am no longer technically in her patronage, as I don't think she looks fairly upon me, but I do own something of hers, and that would be. And then Emma now gestures over to the ring.
I've not heard of things that grant wishes.
They go by different names for different entities. Some are Efreets, some are Marids, Jinn, genies of sorts.
Ashrin and Ashrin actually would be the other one. Winter would be able to, and I'll roll for roll a history check on that. Actually, Ordell, you
Okay.
would be able to as well on this. XC, yeah, you wouldn't be able to.
I know nothing, Jon Snow.
That's a 10.
10, beautiful.
Unnatural 20.
Okay. Ordell, you've heard of genie-like entities, specifically Efreetis. You've heard of them in books that often speak of the fire planes and them being pretty prevalent there. And so you know that Emma's not lying about this. You don't know much about them. They're pretty much urban legend. You know that they grant wishes, and most of the times they don't go well for people. So it doesn't seem like Emma, or at least she's drawing from some original story if she is lying.
I've only heard about those in fairy tales. I don't know.
You'd be surprised at the horrors that actually exist in this world.
Fair. I haven't seen much of it.
I believe
We
you
do
saw
have-
it earlier today. And Emma kind of like makes like noodle tentacly arms.
I
I haven't heard of those things in some time, but for some reason they strike me. Specifically, the Ifriti you said.
I believe those are the fire genies. Very noble, I think. The most noble of the four, but I could be wrong on that. I don't remember quite. I have other books in here, and again, gestures to the rings.
which
that
XC is
talk about
currently
it.
holding still, correct?
Correct.
Just making sure.
Could I, with your supervision or whatever, read one sometime? The
Sure.
Ifriti, that's the closest thing to an actual memory I think I've ever had.
Absolutely. It's nice when, and again, giving this pointed like glare over to Ritter. It's nice when people ask first before they snoop.
I thought. Let me
know,
clarify
Ritter.
something here. Are you subject to her will?
Ooh, and Emma just like waves her arms around. She's like, "Can't you tell
He-
by my horrific outfit and everything?
He kind of paces.
No, I am of my own will."
You said you weren't going to stop her from trying to take over things.
Be-
I've just questioned.
I'm sorry. I should rephrase that. I'm not going to stop her because I cannot stop her. You can't stop her. I don't think anyone can.
Just
Is she
needed
that
to
powerful?
know that. I need you to roll a persuasion on that, Emma, to convince Ritter.
All right.
Can I assist?
Yeah, if you want to try and help.
It is like the sun. It is there. You cannot stop it. You can think you can try, but it will continue to move.
Yeah, you can have
Yeah.
advantage on that. That's a good.
All right. I'll take it. Hey, thanks for that advantage because that's a 21 now.
That beats his 20. Okay, I'm sorry for snooping. I'm sorry for that. I agreed very hastily to join you all and help you here. Forgive my hesitation once the first thing I read about you is that. I agree that there are things about us that we will learn that we may not like, but it was the first thing that I learned, truly, so forgive me.
Out of all the books you could have chosen, though, I have books about cooking. I have books about happy things. I have lots of books.
I just picked purple. I like
But-
purple.
I like purple too.
You strike me as more of a green person, but purple, neat.
Purple, black.
I think, Ritter, you forget that we were able to eliminate the threat. You were not able to.
I agree. Thankful. Again, that's why I'm helping you here. There are things that I could use you for, and I'm sure that you could use me for. I'm going to try and get you to a safe area to the northern part of these lands. Very appreciative. Do not count me wrong.
We appreciate you, Ritter. We are, strange was a word. Someone put it earlier. And these circumstances
And
are that as well.
Agreed. That you won't find normal folk here until we get further north, and even then, no. But
Well,
fine. With that, we need to either set up a watch here at camp and bunker down, or we need to keep moving further into the forest.
what do you suggest? Night or day?
I move quite easily at night, but it is harder for some of you to move at night. At day, we would see any threat coming. At night, we wouldn't, but they could say the same for us. Both are good options. And
Well,
there are ghouls and creatures that will not come out during the day, which is nice.
let's try moving a day and then resting. And if this day is not what we hope, we'll go back to night travel. Does that seem fair?
Fine with me.
From what I heard in the ring, it's your day anyway.
Oh, fuck.
Wardell starts walking forward.
As Ordell begins to walk, Ritter kind of does a head nod, and he goes up to pat Emma on the shoulder as he walks by, as a just kind of you feel it as like a "I'm sorry for the misunderstanding" pat,
And
it
as
doesn't
he
linger.
pats, Emma's gonna go and flick his shoulder and say, "To be honest, I probably would have done the same." So,
Good. As Ritter's going to follow Ordell along then. There are a couple of direction options, but Ashrin, XC, Winter, Emma. Are you all also wanting to go along during the day?
yeah,
Affirmative.
Is there anyone wanting to be the leader?
Heck no.
I mean, Ordell will because it's his day, but
Yeah.
he's also doing like the kind of like looking to Ritter constantly and being like, which way is the right way?
Gandalf, what is the way to Moria? So there are a couple of options here. You knew that you came from the south and the east. You kind of whisper talk with Ritter as you go along, more just to make sure that nothing out there can find you, not so that your party can't hear you, asking him ideas for directions here. Ritter basically says, my plan was to go further to the northwest. My main camp is at the base of a mountain there. If we go too far to the north, we'll find the old capital, and we don't want to go there. If we go too far to the west, we'll find an old keep ruins. It's near the Jade Tide Lake. I wouldn't want to go to the lake, but the keep ruins are safe if we need to travel there and rest for a bit. Either way, those are days out.
Let's head towards your camp area. We'll establish where we want to go after there.
All right.
Why don't we want to go to that keep to the north you mentioned? I have not heard of this.
The old capital. And he's going to pull out the map to be able to show not only you, but the viewers at home.
Whoa.
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 whoa,
He's going to pull out
breaking the walls.
the map to be able to show you. Y'all are essentially at the bottom left of the mountain right below Lake Velvet near the center. What he described as trying to go to those mountains that are west and a little to the north, right near the T at the Black Forest. He points at Cora's Fall as the old capital, and then he points out the Keep Lane ruins to the west as the keep that you probably could go to and be safe, but he wouldn't want to go too close to Jade Tide. Hope
Is
that
there any particular reason?
Jade Tide has magic innate to it that has been there for a long time. It used to be home to Tritons that wanted to escape the salty sea, and so Tritons and necromancy have created quite a few official abominations that I would steer clear of if possible. But I have hidden there before.
Tritons are mer people, yes.
It's different. Mer people have no legs, but instead fins and flippers. Tritons could walk around on land like us. They just also have gills and webbed feet and hands.
Well, then we'll avoid the frog people.
Different, but I understand your meaning.
Was there real?
You don't know that
Israel?
Tritons exist?
No.
Oh, there is Merfolk Falls to the north, and wow, it's beautiful. Unchanged by the war entirely. Absolutely gorgeous. I'll take you there sometime.
But wait, do they have like the same thing that fish have, which is like the opening on the side of their faces?
The next, yes.
Oh, ew. Sorry. That's that was that came out. That sounds really rude, but I've never heard or seen tritons before.
Totally as if on purpose in the middle of this conversation, Xy's going to turn to Ritter and go, "You mentioned you may have missions for us."
Yeah, there's a lot that we could do. The Merfolk are
I
quite
function
beautiful. The Tritons
extremely
not
well
so.
on missions.
Well, then there's many a camp that I would prefer not exist anymore. I would like to use your help on that.
Affirmative.
There is. He pulls back the map out again because since we're talking about where things are, he's happy to show. He looks over at Emma and says, actually, further to the north of Chorus Fall, Wimburn is an establishment entirely of your folk, the unwilling. It's a interesting place, but it's the entire trees have been knocked down as the armies march between Chorus Fall and Arkirova. It's
To be honest,
a
I don't know if
dangerous
I would have
place.
much in common with them anyway.
They land there, but to the south lie many a bandits, many a raiders that can't make it and choose not to do their own work and the hard work that requires farming of this land, so they just take from others. The south is a dangerous place. The north is at least able to... If you can make it yourself, you can make it there. That's why we were able to stay for so long.
You mentioned that raiders are a problem all over. Are they... What's the word I'm looking for? Are they more organized? Or is this each camp is its own thing?
That's how I'd describe it. Each camp is its own thing. You saw one camp, Tadage's crew, a former, and they would often pick on those who, or prey upon those who just came in, like you all, as they have had plenty of gear to bring upon with them. But there are other raiders that are more organized than just a band of cutthroats.
It did not work out for Tadage.
Indeed. Winter speaks up. You know, that is a good place if I was going to start being a queen of something. We do know there are dead people there.
Of where are we talking, Winter, that you want to be queen of? I'm
NOV.
sorry, I was dazed.
NOV. I could be queen of, well, anywhere one day, but there's dead people there, right? They're not using their bodies anymore. Something to think about.
Mm.
I don't like where this conversation is going.
I'm just saying that if they're not using them, I could.
Winter, I support your choices, but tread carefully with necromancy, because Emma and I were both a product of that.
Oh, I'd be different. I wouldn't. I wouldn't be just I'm gonna be queen, so
Everyone says that when they start that they'll be different. Temptation says otherwise.
And to be completely fair, if I can throw it in, I'm gonna say it again, Winter, but you can't just expect to wield supreme executive power just because you found some stick in a cave.
I know
You
they don't
know?
believe me either, but I can. I'm not saying right now. I will eventually get there. That's what I'm telling them.
Queen is just another word for target.
What?
We should talk
When
about
you
that.
have titles, they form the ability to become a target.
But I'd be your queen, XE, right? You would like that?
I already have a queen.
Who?
Ryan, who's my queen?
It would be a long dead now dwarvish queen from Ludrith. Name what would essentially be unrecognizable to anybody in this party.
I pronounce the unrecognizable queen. That was actually her nickname. The unrecognizable queen.
Canon, absolutely. She wears many a faces, the queen of mysteries.
Love
it. As a well, if you can't even recognize her, you could pick a new one. But either way, that's not I'll talk to him more later about it. Just something to think about.
She's just like holding her tongue, like she's just watching this conversation go down, and you can just tell she's playing like mental ping pong in her head, but she's just holding her tongue.
Ash, you look like you have something you want to say.
Oh, no, for about Winter Queen? No, no, not at all. No. Why would you say that?
I
The
Because you keep
tonality
looking
in
back
your
and forth
voice
at people.
and your eye keeps twitching.
It's not.
You can be
There it
upfront and
goes
honest.
again.
Look,
Ash.
I'll say it now. Brie, Summer, or Winter, one of you.
Good lord.
Spring, fall.
One of you people. I don't like that stick.
Bring back into that, Drew.
That's rude. First of all, I've done nothing to you. I don't particularly like that belt you have. But I didn't say anything about it.
Wait, why don't you like Winter's stick? It's a stick with skulls on it. I mean, it's
cursed.
garish, but
Talking to her.
Ordell,
It's
you were
literally
pretty
talking to her.
out of most of these conversations because you were like staying at the mouth of the cave while
Oh
they
yeah,
went
no, I
in.
know. That's why
Yeah,
Ordell's like, what?
just making sure.
sticks don't talk, Emma.
They do when they're cursed. They're cursed. It's cursed.
I wouldn't say that
What do
it
you mean?
talks at all. It more advises, and it's just me. And it's got good points, so it's made a lot more sense. And Ash, I actually don't understand really why you're giving any sort of side eye. I said that you and Ordell would be very high up, like high ranking. I don't.
I'm not giving any side eye. As your advisor, I believe I am still your advisor.
Of course.
I am just mentally taking notes of everything in the situation for later use.
See, that's why I
Wait, why
trust
am I
you.
high ranking? What
Well,
did I do?
You helped everyone, and you haven't said anything about this stick that you say is not. You haven't been rude about it yet. Other people have.
So wait, if someone's rude about your stick, that is how they lose title and status.
It's not
with you.
about the stick. Why do we keep talking about? It's more about things about me, and they just. I was told, and rightfully so, I feel that I have a good purpose in this world, and that I found it in that cave, and that I'm going to use. And it's a staff. This staff to help amplify my magic. Right, we're all following. Amplify my magic to help one day instate me as queen. Is nobody
Anything that
following
makes
me
you
here?
undead when you touch it isn't a good thing. I'm
Both
just
of
saying,
you are undead. Are you not happy to be alive?
unwilling. How do you think we got our names?
You are not an unwilling. You were born a different way.
still unwilling.
I can't answer whether I'm happy or not. I'm going to be honest, every day I fly by the seat of my pants.
That's regular people do that. That doesn't have anything to do with being undead.
Exactly, and that's why I'm not sure if I'm happy or not.
So you're just like a
regular
normal
people.
person, right? And so I could help be the queen of normal people that are undead.
I just
Um,
think that you have a wooden staff, but
It is
it's
a staff.
stick.
It is a staff.
I don't see it working anywhere, so it's not a staff of anything.
I
But
could.
regardless of that,
She shakes it, and the 3 goblin heads that are like curled around this gnarled oaken thing clank around. I could do magic with it. I made the goblins. That's why you had to carry the body of one of them.
no, I still agree. It's a powerful stick, but a staff is someone that works there. It's not a person. Winter.
Oh, honey. There's a misunderstanding of words here. This is just a long scepter. Think of it as that way. Staff has 2 meanings, actually.
Weird stick. And Ordell keeps walking.
So good. Very good. Yeah. I don't know to GFY the staff thing or inspo it, so I'll leave it as is.
There.
As you all are walking, still continuing to go to the northwest, Ritter described it would take a few days to reach the base of that mountain, and from where you're at on the map, it seems like he's not wrong. It's quite a distance away, especially going through thick forest like this. But he does lead you through the Black Forest and trying to keep you out of danger. Since he and Ordell are kind of up front, as it were, since that was what was described, today I'm going to have Ordell and Ritter roll a survival check.
We haven't rested yet since our last thing, right?
Correct.
I'm just gonna check if I feel like this is important. Do I have any knowledge from past lives? Nope. Oh, okay, that's still not bad. Survival. Oh, I'm good at survival. It's a 16 total.
16. Okay. As the two of you trek through the forest, slowly it turns to night, and in this dark forest with trees of onyx black and leaves that are as gray as the dirt around you, it becomes very hard to see at night. All silhouettes begin to blend together, and the only thing that you can see is what is immediately around you in the moonlight. Those of you with dark vision, this is what it's like being underground, seeing in the dark. Everything is just kind of gray and black as you move along here. A few roses mark the ground of black petals, and a few tulips with black petals as well as you move along. But Ordell and Ritter, you keep the group largely on a safe path, is the best way it can be described. Every now and again, when you go along, you see bits of broken branches and things that would indicate some large creature is here, and find a pathway that it went. You find essentially a game trail and know to skirt your way around that. So for at least the first day, you avoid any sort of obstacle or thing that might try and kill you, which is a good thing overall. Before it becomes nighttime, and Ritter does suggest, we had a long day, at least you all did. I'm going to search around the camp, but I think we should stop here, continue in the morning. Maybe tomorrow night we can pull a double shift.
I agree.
Okay. With that, Ribo Wife's the best. She brought me a big old Sonic. Thank you, Ribo Wife.
Inspo
Hey.
for Rybo.
Whoa.
Wife.
For her.
Brought you the hedgehog himself, Sonic? Whoa.
Brought the boy.
Here comes the boy.
She gets an inspo, which I mean, I'll take for her. I'll just use it for her. No worries. about
No,
that.
no, you won't.
Slap you.
You know what? Give her 5. She's so good. I love her. Give her 5. I'll write
Look,
those
how
down.
about
Give it
10,
10
give
and
her
then just
10,
take it away
Rybo.
disappointingly.
Yeah.
Alright?
Yeah.
Wait, is it salty in here? I don't know. It just tastes a little salty.
That was last season.
Let's rebuild.
Hey.
Let's rebuild. There's an inspo for Loki. I saw a pupper earlier on Jackie's lap, so she can get an inspo as well.
I'm just sitting on mine for the note drawings.
Yeah, that's
for inspo.
right. So
Nico doesn't visit me anymore.
with that, he does recommend that you all stop for a little bit. Do you want to?
Yeah. Ordell's gonna start divvying out one of the things for the meat. And I'm gonna stop.
Ritter, do you eat meat? We haven't really clarified that. If you have any dietary restrictions.
No, I eat meat.
All right, just checking.
And I'm gonna give him some of the meat I cured.
He chews on it heavily. He grabs a few more pieces before he says, "Well, while you set this up, I'm just gonna make sure that we're safe here."
Emma gives that a nice, and then disappears into the ring. Comes back with some more smoked meat. You had asked for this. You probably don't remember this because Jakey wasn't here, but you had asked for more meat, and I was in the ring, and here's more meat.
Yes.
And
I remember
also,
doing that. I
that's
don't forget the
probably
things I
why the
do.
ring, and that's probably why the ring is musty, is because there's drying meats in there.
If anyone's
you.
insulting the meat I'm curing, you can eat something else. I'll have you know.
No, the must was more from, I don't know, 800 years of air just recycling with no window.
I agree, Ritter
Wow.
says with to Ashran as he walks to go look around the camp.
Well, Emma, this meat is cured, but you were just roasted.
As
That was a
Ordell
Jakey
takes, like, a
joke, not
bite.
an Ordell joke. You know you get a
Absolutely.
GFY.
Are you kidding me? He's made dad jokes. He has made several dad jokes. Let it be known. But you know what? I'll take the GFY for it. You know,
Higher-
because it was worth it.
High or low?
High.
All right, no GFY.
Yes.
99 Unicorns disagrees, though. So, Ritter is going to take a look around the camp here. What is everybody doing during this first night of travel? With your survival rolls, Ordell, you and Ritter are fairly certain that you're going to have a pretty uneventful night here as far as wild animals or game or no signs of anybody that's been around here. If somebody does come along, it's purely by happenstance. So you feel fairly safe, but you'll probably keep a watch to be sure.
Cool.
I'll offer to keep watch, but then I also kind of want to approach Ritter, and as he's surveying the area, and let him know I'm falling behind and kind of observing, purposely being, loud, and I'll just go, and crunching leaves behind him. I hope you don't mind. I'm kind of just observing. I want to know how you've survived out here for so long on your own.
Yeah, come here. I can show you what I'm looking for. He offers for you to come up to see. You don't have to. You can say that, but he does offer.
Sure, I'll come closer.
Okay. Says you can look on the grounds, but they're going to be drag marks, not typical footsteps. If they're ghouls, usually one leg limps behind the other. So what you're looking for is almost tilled earth. You look at the ground for drag marks, not footsteps. That's what you want to look for out here. Took a while to learn that, but we did. And then branches. You want to look for things about head high. There's rarely any game out here that is small anymore, and so it's got to be able to defend itself. So it's going to be big. You're going to look for things about head high, see if any branches are broken there. Look for either of those, if you're safe or not.
Okay. Why dragging? What about raiders? Raiders have footsteps.
Raiders don't come into the forest often. If raiders come into the forest, they're running from something that drove them in here. So we look again for mostly animal or ghoul marks. But it's a good question. It's smart to think of, but it just doesn't happen.
Oh, thank you. Thanks.
No problem.
And she doesn't really know how to end the conversation, so she'll just stand there awkwardly.
He's going to keep walking around looking for track marks as he's about to say something. You can see him kind of stop and hear that kind of before you can tell he holds something back before continuing looking for tracks.
Yes.
It was explained briefly, but you and Winter are traveling with 3 autonomous bodies. A
Yes.
giant dead man, a skeleton woman, and a creature of mechanical nature. It's a bit odd. It's an odd pairing, and just wondering how it kind of came to be.
Well, I mean, we were all kind of thrown in here. He just looks around together. Well, long story short, Winter and I were kind of spying on Ordell. We were kind of intrigued of how like huge he is.
He's
and
big.
Yeah, Winter was enamored.
Do they have a
Stop it.
thing? The 2 of them?
No, oh God, no, God's no.
I don't
Oh
know.
no.
I never asked to see if it
And-
would work, but she's dead now,
Mm.
so.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong. Yeah, she's dead. Oh. Anyways, so then we were spying, and then we kind of just like broke and enter onto his property. XC was actually in the junk somewhere there, and then I think I found the ring. Yep. No, Emma found the ring. Someone found the ring that no. Winter found the ring that Emma was in, or I found the ring. Someone found the ring Emma was in, and then we got raided at Ordell's place. That's about it.
Okay. Well, it's odd that they chose for you all to stick around then, I guess, but better to survive with other people than alone.
Raiders to the north.
Run!
Oh man. Right. And you?
I've probably been out here a decade or so at this point.
How old are you?
I'm 44.
Okay. Not. She like thinks to herself, and she might have accidentally said it out loud, like, looks as old as my dad, but way younger than my dad.
Does she say that out loud?
She's probably like mumbling it, like trying to like, you know, when you do the math and you're like, eh?
He nat 20'd
Mhm.
his perception, so he definitely heard it. It's the stress of being out here. It graze your hairs early.
Right. Right. Well, I don't know. Just you've been out here for so long on your own and doing it quite effectively to the point that a whole group of people are afraid of you. It's kind of crazy.
I've been
I
hunting them for
respect
a
you for
while
it.
now. We lived peacefully for the longest time, but then raiders came to the north and found our little home that we built, and now, well, revenge is all some people have out here, and so figured I'd join them.
Wait, what home?
I had a home to the north, right below the snowy parts, actually near the Merfolk Falls. But guess they didn't like that.
So you were thrown in here and you made the best of a situation and made a home?
Mm-hmm. You can roll an insight on that.
Yeah. Insight, and then also with who? $22.
He's definitely withholding information pretty heavily. I mean, that's obvious, but it's very obvious to Ashrin too, as she says. And so you were thrown in here? Mm-hmm. Do you ask with who?
With who? By yourself?
No.
No. To
No.
which question?
I wasn't thrown in here by myself, and I wasn't thrown in here at all, but I don't know if that's... We should get back to the others.
I let Ritter go first.
Yep. You can try and pry, but if
Mm.
you let him go, then yeah, he's gonna head back to the camp.
You did say, like, he takes a step away just to try to get out of the conversation, and I'm like,
As
well,
soon as
I
like a
think
leaf crunches you,
you did say it was, I believe you might have said her bow. Her bow.
he takes the bow off of his back and hands it over to you to observe and take a look at. Go ahead and roll me an investigation.
The natural one. Why? Attic caverns to
There-
jail.
There may have been quite a bit to learn about this bow, but you're only really able to gather what he holds his thumb at for you to take a look at, essentially, as he hands it to you, what he kind of points directly to. On what languages do you read?
Abyssal, Common, and Elvish.
You do actually read this. In Elvish,
Ooh.
it reads Stardust.
Hey, Stardust. What is this?
That was her bow. She was my partner. I told you, I'm not the deadliest thing out here. She was, at least I thought. But
That's so cute. Was she like a fairy or something? The name is like really cute.
it was a call sign, but one that she went by. Are you familiar with... He kind of looks and pauses, looking down at the bow. Have you ever been off of this plane?
No?
Does Shadow Kai ring a bell to you? Roll a history check.
Does it ring a bell? Ooh. 17?
17. You're an elf. You've heard of your cousins from the Feywild. The Shadar-kai are dark, shadowy elves that live in the dark of the Feywild. They serve the Raven Queen, a dark, inherently evil entity. You don't know much about it, as you've never seen one, but you know that the Shadar-kai are not exactly people that you want to meet. But you're a Crimson Elf. People don't want to meet you either.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. What about the Shadowkai?
She was one. This was hers, and so I gave her a call sign for her mission. She went by Stardust, and so this was her bow as he puts it back on.
I'm assuming she passed.
Yeah, she did, but you can tell it's hard for him to even get it out as he... That's why I don't care for the raiders here. They take slaves and they don't earn their own way here. They took her and me, but she's a fighter and I'm not, and well, we were in a caravan going from one place to another and she fought and they didn't like that, so she's gone now, and now I'm gonna try and do my best to make sure that there are no more of them.
I'm sorry.
It's the way that it is out here, but I've seen the beauty of it, and so did she. But until then, I'm gonna kill the rest of the raiders.
Fair. Whatever you're saying, revenge is the doing of the land. I forget.
He just said that's all some people have out here. But that's enough of that. Well, I'd rather not go further into it.
I'm sorry. That's all I can really say.
It's all right. See, begins to walk back towards the camp. He stops for a moment and he says, again, about to say something, but turns back and walks towards the camp.
I will make a mental note and poke him next time I can.
There you go. Ritter and Ashrin return. Emma, Ordell, Exie, and Winter. While they were gone, did you all build a fire at all, or are you continuing the fireless nights that you've planned here?
Probably fireless.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. You're noticing, as you're going a little bit further north, it's starting to get colder. It's not cold enough to where you can't survive with just a blanket yet, but if you keep going further to the north, you're gonna need one at night at some point. You've probably still got a ways before that happens, but it's something you're starting to notice that it is getting colder at night. We should be good. Ashton and I checked around. We'll just keep watch, get some sleep, head out in the morning. We can probably get there 2 days from now.
Sounds good.
Before going to bed, Ordell's going to go over, and he's gonna grab like a stump or something and like snap it in two and make it into two like pieces.
XC, come with me.
Affirmative.
As
and
Ordell
then-
and Exie walk out and away from the camp.
Like only like 10, 20 feet so everyone
Okay.
can see them. Still, just Ordell just like wants to like talk to XC.
Mhm.
Ordell takes like both pieces of the stumps and like just plants them in the ground, and then he like pats on like one thing for XC to sit, and then Ordell sits on one facing him.
I assume the sitting position that I've been asked to perform.
I have a strange question for you, XC. And this is probably going to be invasive, but I've noticed you've been very honest so far. So
All
may I
questions
ask
are
you this?
strange unless answered.
Fair point. May I ask this?
What are you asking?
Well, I'm asking you if I may ask you a question. This
Is that
first
the
question
strange
has to.
question? That is a
No.
question that could be strange.
I mean, this first question leads to another question, so it's two parts, and the first question I'm asking you now has to do with the second question. That's why I'm asking you if I may ask you a question.
Oh, that is 3 questions. A question asking if you can ask me 2-part question.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Do you know what autonomy is, XC?
Correct. I am currently in autonomous mechanical individual mode.
There's modes.
See, XC, you often respond to commands, but while we're traveling, there may be times where you need to make decisions of your own. Is that possible? Where you can take autonomy into your hands?
Irrelevant, all decisions are made based on primary directives.
What if there isn't a primary directive? If you had to do something important that required your decision making and your touch. For example, if you were sent to hurt someone, but you realize in hurting them, you would hurt another person you don't want to, or you're not allowed to.
I do have protocols to protect from that. There is another function, though, in situations where I have to pretend to not be in an autonomous mechanical individual mode. I do have another mode.
And what is this mode?
Autonomous infiltration mode. It allows me to pretend to be a fully functioning individual so that my target does not know that I am under a directive.
So you have a mode that lets you act of free will autonomously.
Incorrect. It gives the pretense of free will
How
so
does
that
one
anyone
access this mode?
observing, there is a pressure point switch, you may call it, along with a code word that can be activated.
Where's the pressure plate and what is the word?
Xyz's arms sort of extend out, swivel, come back to the back of its head's plate, and you hear what sounds like a screw getting undone, and the head plate pops up. You should see a red pressure plate. Do you wish to change me from AMI mode to AIM mode?
Yes, I do.
You must now select a code word that may revert me back in emergency situation.
Cordell thinks for a while. Now, can I roll Rybo? Like, Ordell's gonna think of just like a historical, like, he doesn't have like a bunch of like he doesn't have like a bunch of memories up, but can I try and roll to access a memory or something that like only Ordell would be able to say? Is that a thing I could do, or?
Yeah, you can roll a history for me.
Ooh, 18 plus, I think only one, but 19.
You can know you you know the language of the giants a bit, and you remember a few words that you know at least none of your party here knows, and you haven't seen any other giants. You remember the giant word for fire, Bront,
Xy does
B-R-O-N-T,
speak giant, actually.
Once? Oh, I do speak giant too.
B-R-O-N-T.
The code word is
And then Bront with the proper giant dialect, because if somehow someone talks about a Brontosaurus, I don't want something bad to happen.
That's a fire brontosaurus, by the way. Its whole neck is flames. Ghost Rider rides it.
Confirm, please press blesser plate for 5 seconds.
Yeah, Ordell like gets up, walks behind, pauses for a little bit because he's like,
I hope this works.
and then he's gonna hold his finger down for 5 seconds.
I just love Ryan's face.
I know exactly what's going on, you son of a bitch. Ordell.
I'm innocent.
Mhm.
5 seconds.
Ordell, you place 4 fingers on the top of Xy's head and place your thumb on the red button, holding it for 5 seconds. No more, no less. Before Xy, describe what happens to you at the end of the 5 seconds.
As the 5 seconds finishes, Xy seems to slump as if completely powered down for a second, and then you hear a whirling as the first time you saw Xy when they came out of the trash and went through that boot up sequence, starts back up, stands up. You see their eyes go through the color spectrum and everything else. If you want full description, go back to episode 1. A couple minutes later, Xy has gone through the testing. looks down to Ordell, or looks, yeah, because Ordell was sitting down. Would you prefer me maintain this voice?
Whatever voice feels most comfortable for you.
Understood. I will maintain this voice at this time. So, how about that local? How about that local sports team?
Oh my god. GFY. Holy shit. So quick.
Do that.
Easy.
Yeah.
Easy GFY.
Ordell just like pauses.
Sorry, that's my GFY and I owned it.
Local sports team is great.
And Ordell walks away, just being like,
God damn it.
How about them Coracrucian locals? That's their name. That's their mascot, is the locals.
just they grab some random guy from the bleachers and make him the mascot for the day.
Dance today. You have to dance today. As Ordell walks back to the camp, XC stands there with a slightly different stature to its back. And XC, you now look at the camp with a different vision in mind, different thoughts that race through your head. Ordell, you look back and what once was green light behind XC's eye is now pure white and yellow. Very much like the image you see now right next to XC's face. Alex's head down there at the bottom left. The light has changed, stands a little different, but you walk back to camp and sit down amongst the rest of your friends, kind of getting ready for some rest for the night. But XC, you now look with a different mindset. Do you join them?
Not yet. I will stand there for a bit, trying to reconfigure and re-understand my new current purpose.
Emma, during this night, is there anything you're wanting to be doing?
First thing I'm gonna do is go over to XC and into the ring. I'm gonna spend just a little bit of time going through my books, trying to find the Book of Genies that I had been asked to see. And when I find it, I pop back out and I go find Ordell. And I just I set it on the log, the other log that he had next to him. And then I'm gonna go meander. And as I do, there's a little raucous clinging to my leg as I go off by myself for a little while.
So to clarify, Ordell, big guy carrying big stumps of logs. Are you carrying a log with you?
Oh no. There was that one he had split in half for XC to sit on.
Oh, I thought you were
And
saying you were
that's
taking that with. I knew. Okay.
No. Yeah, and she's putting the book on that log.
Okay.
Next to Ordell.
Emma, you then head off and into the forest. How far away do you kind of go from the camp to give people a general perspective and to know if they will be able to see what you're doing?
Maybe about 30, 40 feet.
Okay.
Maybe 50, somewhere in there. Not too far, but not too close.
Perfect.
Enough for some me time.
As Emma, you sit down for a moment into the darkness and look around. Is there anything you're wanting to do or just generally have some alone time here?
I'm gonna look down at this one raucous. And then I'm gonna notice another one pop up. Then another one. And another one until there's about like 12 raucous just all around me.
All of them kind of gather around your bones and seemingly popping out of hands that would once exist but don't actually. These little puppet figures. And do you have your little puppet for everybody at home to have a visual of? Thank you. as a little raucous. Yeah, flip it around as it now talks directly to you. One of them's sitting in the grass, seemingly below, before the other 11 all kind of kind of pull over in front and all stand now in a crowd towards you. They, with puppet-like arms, hold their arms crossed from each other and look at each other and nod and look before looking up at you.
I think it is time for you all to leave. You've had plenty of years to be here, and I think it's time for you to go.
They all, heads open, slack-jawed.
You were part of one of my wishes, and it's been long enough. The joke is no longer funny.
One of them kind of ushers its way forward, looks back at all of them. You really want us to go?
You are the embodiment of everything I hate about myself.
Where with their very overly animated movements, because it's all the arm or nothing. They
each in your own respect. So
I never. Come on, let's go. Before seemingly moving as if there's stairs there, though you just see them begin to slump down into the leaves below. Yes, yes, that happens. However, one of them, if you could, let's see if we can choreograph this. Aim the face of it towards the camera. One of them doesn't seem to go down the stairs, but very slowly it turns and pans back around towards you. I don't want to go. It bounces a little forward. No, you know what? Matter of fact, I'm not going. You can't tell me secrets like that for 800 years and not expect. It's my turn to talk to you, actually.
Well, how do you suppose we make this happen then?
Well, as it appears like immediately on your right shoulder. Well, now there is a contract. I know you're a bit wary of those, but there are contracts that we could sign, as it like touches both of its hands, that we could sign to make this a more partnership, if you'd like.
What are the stipulations of this?
If anything, I would say it's to your benefit. I would be, I would become a familiar. You're familiar with the term, get it? I would become your familiar, right?
Mm-hmm.
In return, you don't make me go back to the shadow, and I stay with you. It's a better existence for me and you.
You don't like her either?
Oh my God, no. When I'm with you, all I have to do is listen to somebody talk. She is so mean, I can't even begin. Let's, please? No, okay, I was kind of talking and asking before, but I'm begging you here. I don't even have knees, but I'm on them. Please, as it like puts its hands up to your face. Don't make me go back to the shadow. Please don't make me go back to the shadow. I don't want to go to the shadow. Please.
All right.
Perfect.
You
As
had the gun. Emma tries to keep talking, but just like, wait, what?
a quick, a small pad of paper with seemingly contract details. I had this written up 800 years ago. I thought day one you would ask about this. Oh my God, you're so good with the props. I thought day one you would ask about this. But let me just, basically the last page is all that we needed. If you could sign here, then I'd be your familiar.
Okay.
just yeah. Name here, initials
Uh-huh.
over.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Date on
Is that good?
the other one.
Oh, sorry.
You don't have any blood, so we're gonna omit that. We'll just
Okay.
just put NA.
And
NA.
gotcha.
Okay, good. Let me. Ruckus walks away into the dirt. You fool! You fool! Now, with this contract, you must protect me from the shadow. I heard what you said earlier to this silly man in black. No, you said you wouldn't try and stop her, but you have to try and keep me alive as best as possible.
I like you.
I'm glad. That's going to make this a lot easier as he rolls up the contract into some pocket unknown onto his black like robes. That I'm saying that there is no skeleton. I'm saying that the black outline on the drawing that you did is a shadowy robe that goes like behind somehow always the skeletal figure there, because it's just more fun that way.
Yeah.
He's got like that My Neighbor Totoro just kind of blackness robe that's there that just kind of does whatever it needs to be, as he shoves the contract in and says, "Great, okay. Now, you've been able to talk, but also check the fine print there, buddy, because they're gonna know that I'm saying something now. All your friends."
True.
I don't think that they'll understand, but they're gonna know.
They already think I'm out to help in the world anyway, so what's a small talking puppet?
I agree. If anything, it's better for you if they hear that I'm saying something than nothing, right? That gives more validity to your insanity.
I was never insane.
That's not how it
I have no idea
appeared to
what you're doing.
others.
Well, that's just rude of them to assume.
I agree. Well, honestly, this couldn't have worked out better for me. Most of my brothers and sisters there, so glad they're gone. Most familiars come from the celestial plane. It's very weird that that I get to do this, but I'm excited.
Well, I'll protect you as long as you don't turn around and stab me in the back. How about that?
Don't even have a knife.
Good, very good.
As Emma stands back up, kind of does a big intake of breath, though doesn't need one. Turns back to the camp, Ruckus immediately disappearing inside your collared shirt there. As Emma gains a find familiar.
Ryan, I believe you deserve an inspo for that.
Mm-hmm.
I'll take one. Drew, I know we had talked about like if Ruckus becomes a familiar, what voice. Completely forgot, so I hope you're happy with that one.
No, that's great. That's
okay. As Emma returns back to the camp, everyone is there now, and everyone is at least settled in. Xe, have you finally rejoined? Emma was probably gone for about 20 minutes or so.
Yeah, when Emma goes back, I'll rejoin as well.
Perfect. Everyone now is around the camp, hurt, dazed, and exhausted from the day. Everyone's eager to get some rest. Ordell is quite literally exhausted and has taken a large chunk of damage from when the rocks were falling in the cavern. Ashrin and Emma obviously took quite a bit of hits there, and Winter is adjusting to being dead, and so, she'll sleep like the dead. Xe, you're actually doing pretty good. All things considered.
Boy. I will use another ration of the metal I've got tonight as well.
Go ahead and roll me a Tinker's kit. Have you ever tried yet, because we did talk about this, and you would know that you can because you used it temporarily, you can try and heal your max health. You've taken 2 points off of it, or you can keep making bullets.
I'm going to keep making bullets.
Sounds good. So yeah, go ahead and roll me a Tinker's kit.
All right, that's a 17.
17. That's good enough. Go ahead and roll me a D10.
Let's roll better than 1 this time. Hey, 5.
5. So you could get 5 bullets or 1 bullet and 1 specialty bullet.
Done. 5 bullets it is.
Perfect. As XC goes about making the bullets there, everyone is around the camp. Is there a watch being set? I know XC is just kind of constantly on Overwatch, but Winter, I gotta be honest, guys, I'm really tired. Could I just sleep this one?
Yes.
Okay. Poor Winter is out, no problem. Ordell, you know, if you need to pick her up and go with your little baby rucksack, you definitely can.
I think
Dr. Ordell, I don't understand. Oh, back in the rubber voice. I do not understand that question. Isn't she always sleeping?
What do you mean?
It sounds like she made it out to be that she would do a watch, but would not do a watch. Sounds very dishonest.
I think she was trying to be polite.
You could think that.
Ritter's like, I'll take the first watch. I'll sleep after.
I will also watch. I don't sleep nearly as long as any of you. I don't sleep.
Right. Nobody else will volunteer then, so Ritter will take the first 4 hours. And
And
Ordell
then
will take
Ordell
the
will take
next.
the last 4 because I only need 4 hours of sleep.
Emma's gonna be awake the entire time, but kind of like off of the group. Like definitely not as far as what she was in the woods, but like just off enough to where she can have some nice conversation with Raucus now.
Okay.
As someone who has been there the entire 800 years and can now actually talk.
Instead of just your imagination speak.
Mm-hmm.
As Emma, you originally, or first off, you immediately ask, so what all embarrassing things did you see? And oh boy, does Ruckus have some thoughts about that. But with that, with Ritter and Ordell, both of you roll me a perception, and then XC, roll me 2 perceptions.
$12 total.
Okay.
Am I rested by the time I'd take mine? Because it would be my 4 hours?
You would be.
Okay. Okay. I'm not
I am
going to use my
completely
knowledge
in
from
this
past life.
mode at the moment. I rolled 2 2s, so that's 9 each.
Perfect for your 2 personalities. As Ritter keeps watch. He's tired, but it's light activity. It's still better than having to do any sort of physical work here. So he's able to hold this watch no problem. He's certain when he wakes you up, Ordell, that he did not see anything. Nothing saw the group. Ordell, as you go about yours, you're also pretty certain. XC, you're more adjusting to your new vision and more focused on these bullets, trying to churn out as many as you can in one night. You've had to use quite a bit, and it'd be nice to actually have a full clip at the ready. So everyone gets a full night's rest before you can eventually begin to see more than just silhouettes, as you can only assume the sun starts to rise in this dark place. Everyone is awake. It's about time to set out. But if we go clockwise based on normal, it was Ordell's day, who is typically at the bottom middle, should go to Ashrin. Should be Ash's day again.
Oh, wasn't it XC's day that power palmed it off to Ordell's?
That's true. You did pawn it off. So now it's actually Ordell's day.
Ordell, gets up.
We're going the same route. I'm not changing anything just because it's my day. I do, however, though, for part of my day, would like to speak with you, Emma, about the book.
Sure.
As you're all walking, since Ordell's day and Ritter, you're going to lead again. So go ahead and roll me survival again.
This time I'm gonna use knowledge from a past life just in case. I needed it because that's a 4, but plus 6, and then plus another 4, so 14 total.
As you're walking, Ordell, you're pretty sure you've got on a similar path. You can't see the sun, but you know how it typically, the speed at which it typically revolves. You can kind of get that you're going the northwesterly direction, but Ritter seems to be distracted. Uh, he must not have slept very well last night, and you get a brief glance at his eyes, and they're a bit red, as if he had been up longer than you would expect. He did not get a good rest last night, but he's just kind of not as focused as you right now, as you all keep heading to the northwest, during which time you know that you're still kind of course correcting Ritter here, as he's just kind of looked a lot more down than he had been. He's normally eyes are up, but he's kind of down and to himself right now. But you take the moment to talk to Emma as you're walking along.
Emma, when you talk to your god,
Hmm.
do you hear words, or do you see images?
Well, it depends. If we're talking about the deity I pray to, then I don't actually hear anything. I used to a long time ago. But
Almost on cue, Ruckus pops up for the first time out of your collar and puts its little finger-like arm on the side of your temple and says, well, I mean, you used to not hear much, but you've got kind of a connection now. Before Ordell, you see the puppet not making much sound, but seeming to say something. You always saw these puppets before, but this one is actually physically interacting with Emma as it hangs on her collarbone and puts its elbow on her temple in this very serious moment.
Aren't those usually more incorporeal?
Not so much anymore.
I haven't been to
Why is that?
corporeal in a long time. Oh, he can't hear me. Dang it. That would have been a good
I'm
one.
gonna pick up Ruckus and gently like tuck him into the hip or something for the time being.
Right.
Yes.
Anyway,
Just pay him no attention for the time being.
Every time I have died, there is only one memory I get to keep. And I see fire. And for a long time, I thought it was the plains of hell, or whatever you call it. Some people call it the underworld hell, where you go to rest. But with this memory I have, and also, I didn't bring it up because I don't understand magic, but I saw a face in a fire I lit when I was smoking the meat. It 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 like looked at me, and I it felt familiar, like there was someone watching me. And this is stupid. Never mind. And I hand Emma the book, and Ordell like kind of like walks like a little faster, frustrated. Because I think for Ordell, like he doesn't really know how to put the words like what he's explaining, and he feels like he's rambling.
Emma is going to take larger strides to keep up with this behemoth man who's now walking past her. So if you ever have like the really tall friends and then the short friends like legs are going 20 million miles an hour and the tall friends just like
You're
that's
Mr.
Emma
Krabs
right now.
walking right now with the little.
Emma kind of gets up again. Well, you didn't sell your soul, did you? That you know of?
I At time
Yeah,
I
people-
pointed out I've seen the fire.
Now Emma slows, or Emma, jeez, Ordell slows down a little bit,
when I mentioned I've seen the fire every time, I have seen it at least 200 times. I don't know if I've sold my soul. I don't know if what I am has a soul. I mean, I can do that gross thing with my face that made everyone suddenly appalled. I didn't know that was not a normal thing. I'm
To be honest, you not being able to go into the ring, you might not have a soul. As
Wait,
far
is
as
that
I
how
know,
you check?
well, as far as I can understand, the only people that have ever been in the ring have. See, I inadvertently, to get those 3 wishes, had sold my soul to get those 3 wishes, but I still have my soul until apparently I die, and then I guess that is forfeit. After which, not sure what she'll do with it. Probably something devious, but um, everybody else that's been in the ring so far, so Ritter and Ashrin, I assume they have souls.
Could I
Maybe.
could I try again with you helping me this time? I know it's
It's
whatever
not a
your
great
deity
idea,
learns from
but
me.
it's a good. To throw it out there, though, I don't want any confusion. The ring lady is not my deity. She is a patron and a mean one at that. I pray to an actual deity who is alive and well and wonderful. Um, uh, as far as that goes, 2 different entities, separated in time and space, and hopefully they stay that way as well.
Hmm.
But yes, just to throw that out there, no confusion. I would never pray to her.
Who is
Isn't
she?
that right? And Emma looks down to her hip where Ruckus is.
As Emma looks down, you see Ruckus. I mean, for a while there you did, but you didn't really know. Once you read, then you knew. Then you were like, no, no, I would
Right?
never.
Yeah, right.
You hear him? Or them?
You can't.
No. I see movement though, and I see understanding across your face.
We need to figure out a way for them to hear me.
Do you have more paper?
Ruckus reaches into the side of his robe, and Ordell, what is the size of a sticky note? Pulls out and begins writing. Very, very tiny lettering here. What is the equivalent of small legal print? Very quickly before. The paper, you have to strain to read what it says just for how tiny it is. But it says, "Hello, my name's Ruckus. I have made a pact with Emma, and so no worries here. But Emma and I are equals, and I would like to be treated as such."
Oh.
Ordell folds the note into a small, like, paper airplane and then hands it to Ruckus.
Hello, Ruckus. I am Ordell. Consider this the first gift to a friend, then.
And he just gives a little paper airplane for him to play with.
I like this one, but Ordell, you just see.
Wait? I'm sorry. Could you make that noise one more time for me?
Oh, your
The
mic's not picking it
cat-
up this time.
Oh no, it's the freaking cat lip meme.
Love it so much.
Ruckus immediately goes back into your pocket with the paper airplane in mind, and does who knows what in there. Every now and again, you can feel it poke against your rib.
I'm sure you've just made his day.
Well,
But anyways, like we were talking about, I'm not sure. You could give it a try. I would prefer if, I don't know. I might have ways of. Have you ever you ever thought of reaching out to this entity?
I have, but I don't know what I'd ask.
Who are you is a good first one to ask.
Mm.
Why are you here? You know when you have those people that go and talk to ghosts and they ask all those weird questions? Same concept, except for
I've heard of ghost hunters, yes.
they those are the questions you should ask.
So,
Except
who
for I
are
would
you?
say,
Where are you?
are
If
you a
you're trapped in
girl?
the house with them, what room are you in? Things like
Yep.
that.
Oh,
Mm.
dude, you know you get a GFY.
Hey, Drew started it.
Is that the first
Ordell suddenly
Ordell
snaps his
GFY?
back. He snaps his back backwards. Where are you?
Is that the first Ordell GFY?
No, that's my
No, you've had
second
one.
this
Yeah,
session.
I've just used one on you.
Oh, probably.
Well, let's try the ring tonight. And then if that doesn't work, can you help me pray? I don't know if I'm praying or if I'm worship. I don't know if it's good or bad. It's fire. Fire usually hurts people. Like, what is there good fire?
Emma looks at her chest that is now very open with this new outfit. Yes, there's good fire, I suppose. Although the way I got this fire wasn't great, but it's good now, I suppose. It keeps me alive, and not in her hands. But yes, I will help you. I don't know much. Whenever I see, it's very interesting. I talk to my two greater people's entities very differently. One I try not to talk to at all, and the other one I try to talk to, but hasn't really answered much lately. But I'm sure they're fine.
Well, then
They have
we can
bigger
both
things.
pray.
Let's do
Maybe
it.
maybe your deity can help me find what the fire is.
We
And
can
maybe
always
the
ask.
fire can help you find where your deity is.
This is good. This is good. And worst case scenario, if none of that works, we can always ask Ashrin if she can do some blood magic for you.
I heard you have to go east to do that, though.
As Ordell just smiles, looking at Ashrin.
As the two of you converse and make plans to not only deal with the ring, but possibly involve some blood magic. Throughout the course of this day, is there anything, because Ordell, you mentioned you wanted to talk to him, is there anything anybody else wants to be doing besides getting to the destination? Perfect. As you go, Ordell, you kind of keep Ritter on track, but in doing so, it kind of causes you to lose your own focus sometimes, because you have to make sure that you're going the right direction. You have to kind of keep asking him. Before, he was telling you, like, all right, let's turn here. Now you have to ask him constantly where to go. He's just kind of seems to be in his own head right now. But as doing so, as it starts to get a little closer to dark, you fully, much like the nights before, expected him to say, we need to either camp here or keep going, but he kind of goes a little longer into the day and into the night and just keeps trekking onwards throughout this forest. Because Ritter is a ranger, he is able to keep you all moving at a very quick pace through this forest. And you're staying on what is you're going a little north, but you're staying as much as you can to the edge of the forest right now. You haven't been into the deep parts of it. Ritter has very much explained that going too far into the forest without staying on one of the edges is not necessarily a good idea. But as you ask him, do we need to stop for the night? We just keep going for a little bit longer, and then we'll stop.
Ritter, look at me.
What?
What's wrong?
Nothing. I just been mulling over some thoughts, and It's not important. I'll focus up. But as
Better-
he said,
It is
as he said, I'll focus up. He looks, and you can see his eyes widen, and in the reflection of his eyes, you see light. In this dark night, a very small red light. All of you kind of come across it here at the same time. There seems to be a small clearing of trees, maybe about a 50-yard area where there's just not many trees growing around. They seem to have been cut down, a bunch of logs and stumps around here, as if these woods have been logged and taken somewhere. But you also see a campfire here, and you can't quite hear it. It's very mumbled, but you can hear a low-voiced singing coming from the campfire. Everybody roll me a perception.
Is the voice like? Can we tell the gender?
We'll see what your perception is.
Okay.
19.
19. 1.
21.
21. And
+4, so non-nat 20.
okay. Exy, Ashrin, and Emma. It seems to be a deep male voice. Not Ordell's deep, but an older male voice, I guess is the best way to describe it. In this clearing, now that you can see it kind of hidden behind the bushes from before, you see what looks to be a lone man sitting on a fallen log next to the fire. He has a hood on over with a cape that draws downwards, that seems to obscure the rest of his frame, but he seems to be not large, but not skinny either. He appears to be a built man as he sits here on this wooden log, and you can hear him sing deep and kind of low, "Here's to the health, to the king, and a lasting peace, to faction end, to wealth increase. Come, let us drink while we have breath, for there's no drinking after death. And he that will his health deny, down among the dead men, down among the dead men, down, 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 down among the dead men, let him lie." As we'll stop right there because it seems like a solid place to do a little break. It's 7:58. Let's come back at 8:05, 7-minute break, 6 or 7 minutes. As soon as we do, we'll do the first token giveaway, so make sure you enter into that, and we'll be right back. Sound good? Beautiful.
Sounds good.
BRB.
Scared.
Welcome back from the break. We are here and we have a giveaway to finish. So if Lana, you could go ahead and do the giveaway while I show off that art that Alex talked about before. Let me go ahead and throw that up on the screen here. Alex, who made this darn good art right here of Exy doing a snipe?
This is by an amazing artist from Australia called Haunted Brunch, and they'll be doing a series of pics of Exy in the upcoming weeks.
It works out very well that I said that the lights on Exy are now yellow and this art has yellow yellow in the back of the head. Perfect. Awesome. That was super cool, and I can't believe I missed that one because I saw it earlier and it was the same kind of color palette as your. Can you show the AFK screen that you have created? Because I love it.
Okay, but I'm not AFK yet.
Not AFK
All right.
yet, that's fair. Oh, it's not moving. It's supposed to move like a GIF, but
Oh, I got it.
Perfect. Doesn't the lighting look so good? Doesn't it look like he's holding that out in a fire? It's just so awesome. But yeah, that's the AFK screen, but also congratulations to Systemic Vice. You don't actually have to email Atlanta for this one because I'm giving you the token right here and now. Congrats, Systemic Vice. Sorry, I just saw what somebody said in chat. So you, being a part of chat, one of the all-powerful patrons, can at any point give somebody a temporary boost to their AC of 5 for an hour.
Whoa.
So, at any point, and it doesn't have to be your allies, just FYI, it could be anybody.
No.
You can give them an AC boost of 5 for 1 hour. In-game hour, not playing hour. That would be less good. But a huge boost as the spell shield is cast upon them and lasts for quite a bit of time. So that's the first token for tonight. If you're mad because can they also remove 5 AC? That's a whole different
Arcane. Get out of here.
thing. So if you're mad that you didn't win, don't worry, because we have a second mystery token coming tonight. So you can go and enter that one right away. So we're going to continue right where we just were. I said it in spoken word because I just wanted to get it out there in the time that we had. But this is much more a shanty tune. It's very sea shanty sounding because it's a song from Assassin's Creed Black Flag, and I just love it. But it's perfect to be used here. So it's much more. I'm not going to say upbeat because it's still a downer of a song. But he sings about dead men going down in the deep as he sits around this fire. He moves on from one verse to the next, continuing back to the chorus that reads, down, 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 down among the dead men, let him die, as he sits next to this fire. Seemingly very open in this clearing, allowing this fire to be seen, which Ritter was hesitant of. Ritter says, I have not seen this man before.
Could be a nice person.
If he was in the light, maybe I could see them, but I have no idea who this is.
You think it's a threat?
Maybe to us, maybe to something else. But if he's willing to put a fire out here, he's not afraid of anything that's out here.
Well, I could go talk to him.
Ritter kind of like eyes open.
If you wish to, Emma. I mean, what's the worst that could happen? It's just someone singing, I think. I don't hear much.
Yeah. Emma's going to start walking over.
Ritter's going to pull out an arrow and knock it on his bow and kind of move to a better position to guard if need be. So Ritter kind of moves off away from the group to go circle around to get a better vantage point, leaving Ordell, Asherin, XC, and Winter here as Emma approaches. Are the other four of you, so XC, Asherin, Ordell, and Winter, doing anything?
XC will kind of mirror what Ritter's doing, but go the other direction.
Good call. Asherin, Ordell?
I think Ashrin might want to shadow Ritter again.
Okay. Ordell?
I mean, if everybody's going in different directions, Ordell's going to stick to Emma and Winter, the two most fragile people notoriously. So Ordell's just going to keep them both within arm's reach, but let Emma take the lead on this.
Then if you're going to follow Emma in, Winter's like, maybe I'll go with Ash as Ordell. You kind of pull her by the the hood of her cloak to have her kind of walk and follow along as Asherin, Ritter, and XC move along. XC kind of going alone, Ritter and Asherin to the side. Because of that, I will need stealth rolls from XC, Ritter, and Asherin. We'll get Asherin's whenever she comes back.
21.
Okay, 21, and all right. So once I get Ashrin's, we'll come back. But Emma, you lead Ordell and Winter, who walk just a few feet behind, across this clearing to a man with his hood down, looking into a fire, sitting upon a log.
I'll give him enough notice to maybe like 25 feet out of... Hello there.
He kind of turns abruptly, stopping, singing, says, hello?
I mean you no harm. I was enjoying your shanty.
He stands up now, not really replying to your words before he kind of stretches his back, and you see him reach behind where the log was as he holds out a bastard sword in its sheath, holding the sheath in both hands as he kind of leans on it there.
Like I said, I mean you no harm. I am Emma, Emerald Ghoulcrest, actually.
I've had a long day and a lot of work. Can't be cutting no more Coracrucians down today, little skeleton.
Oh, I was not made by the Coracrucians. So no worries there, and I don't believe anyone I'm with, as Emma gestures behind, is Coracrucian as well.
As sorry, I'm writing this down. As you point back to Winter and Ordell, gonna lie to me on the first meeting. I see that staff, I see the cloth hanging from it. As you see this man now kind of reflected in the light,
Oh no.
you see heavy chains that seem to come out from his leathers. He seems to be wearing heavy armor underneath this cloak as he pulls it off, with heavy, heavy red hair and mutton chops that lead up into one single kind of handlebar mustache with no hair beneath here. So he says, the first time I meet you, you're going to lie to me, you Coracrucian filth.
Drew knows exactly what this is. I am not lying. I am not Coracrucian. And Emma does the slow look back at Winter. It's like, yes, the staff. I assume you're talking about.
It's a stick, Ordell says over the shoulder.
Winter's keeping her mouth closed until you say it's a stick. She goes, it's not a stick, it is a staff, and it... Emma, why don't you continue to speak? And don't... It's a staff.
Stick.
It's a
It
staff.
is a stick. It is a stick, Winter. But
The whole time they're talking, just in the background, quietly, it's just staff, stick,
Staff. Stick. That's very in character.
she had found that in a cave. It wasn't hers when she originally, and then she brought it with us. We are not Coracrucians, and you've had a long day. We can just keep going, and you can have yourself a wonderful night, and we can leave and not cause any trouble to either of us.
Roll a persuasion. You're not lying, so... Also, Ashrin, I need a stealth roll from you.
That's an 18.
His reaction depends on Ashrin's stealth roll.
That is a 16.
Okay. You and Ritter hide on one side with XC completely on the opposite. Fairly certain of your stealth here in this dark forest. If they saw anything, it must just be the silhouettes between the trees. And if you don't move, it'd be hard to see that you're here. So you found a Coracrucian weapon in some mine, a hole in the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And you
Yes,
just
she did.
took it?
I didn't say she was the brightest of, our group. She does have a fascination with undeath.
Are you risen of the Coracrucians?
No, actually, above the ghoul crest.
He's got to
You
roll
may or
to see
may
if he
not
knows
know.
that name. The Ghoulcrest out in Obervane.
Yes, those very ones. They rose me and did terrible things, and I'm just going to leave it at that because I feel like I'm sharing too much info.
No longer leaning upon the bastard sword, he holds it now, the sheath in his left hand. He's not holding the handle of the blade, but he stands upright on his own. And what brings you up here? If you're not Coracrucian, and
We're
you're
taking
of
out
Ghoulcrest.
raiders. Yeah, we're taking out raiders.
You come to the pits of hell to fight raiders.
Listen, I have had a very long life, and what I choose to do with it shouldn't be judged.
Past Emma's, while Emma's talking, the metal pieces of Tadish's head kind of rolls, just so Buddy can see it.
We've been successful in dealing with raiders.
Oh, so you're pulling out? Well, because you've taken the metal
Yeah, I'm
pieces
just gonna-
off of Tadij's head for XC, so you would just have Tadij's head.
I still have So XC has the arm, but Ordell's had Tadish's head and jaw.
Oh, sorry, I thought you took that metal. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, so you do have the full Tadich head then.
Because that's what I showed Ritter before.
Gotcha.
Yes, because that's for XC's emergency medal. But yeah, so Ordell just kind of like, I don't think he actually tosses it. I think he just like walks up and shows it.
We've been successful. If you know who Tadich is, he isn't.
And I put it back in the bag.
This man is by no means up to Ordell's stature, but he is quite broad in the shoulders, as where you're like, what'd you say you are, 6'8", 7 foot something?
7'2".
7'2". He's probably a solid 5'11", as he sits with very, very broad, best can be described as like old English shoulders. He looks like a very old Englishman.
Some could say that we are ridding the world of this scourge of raiders.
Who in the hell is that?
Just generally terrible people.
And where were you risen? Are you also a ghoul crest?
I will be frank, I cannot give the specifics where I was risen because I do not exactly know. I'm covered in many wounds because I have been risen multiple times. By fire or some other means.
You say risen by fire or some other means?
I knew it.
Mm-hmm.
You can tell he's about to point to Winter and ask where she was risen, because he does so in the same manner. But as you say, by fire or some other means, he quickly looks at you and says, "You're risen by fire."
I believe so, yes.
Do you bear his mark? He goes to take off his right glove. So he holds his hand up, and you see a mark etched in like a cattle brand of a flame on his right hand.
Do you have a flame, Mark?
Ordell takes his cloak thing off, and puts down his maul, and then Ordell rages and causes those spirals and things to move up his arms, of that radiant light, and then specifically, which was described before, his heart illuminates with like a flame that is hollowed out in the center of it, and it glows with divine energy.
He kind
I
of
do not know if this
falls back as you
constitutes
notice
that.
here a similar flame to his hand. He stumbles back for a moment as his sword falls to the ground. You are truly risen by fire.
Wait, do you know what this is?
He goes up, kind of looking at you, almost as if he's looking through you, to put his hand on your chest where the mark is. Do you let him?
Ordell doesn't really resist. Yeah, I don't think I resist because this guy's the most familiar with anything involving this stuff.
He closes his eyes as he touches your chest, and you... I've been looking for you.
For me?
Folk like you.
Why?
For a long time. You're the answer to all this.
We are the
You must-
folk like me.
You must come with me. So he reaches down to grab his sword and puts it on over. My order needs to see you now. We are not far from here.
Emma, this is what we were talking about. This gentleman may have answers.
This is a good thing, and before you go with this stranger, the stranger should know that we have other friends, just in case you got scary and tried to murder me or us. Friends. And Emma just like looks
Ordell's
out.
just gonna whistle.
XC, do you show yourself? Ashrin, do you show yourself?
You.
Yes.
I sort of do that reverse Homer when he fades into the bush. I sort of come out of the bush.
Wheels on your feet just slide you seamlessly forward out of the silhouette of the shadow.
Sliding a brick of butter through the wrapper just falls and thump.
Ritter
uh,
looks to you, Ashrin, before you walk out, and he follows. He does not take his arrow off of the bow, but he doesn't have his hand immediately on the nocked arrow on the string. He just holds it there with one finger as
to be
they
honest,
approach as well.
I am more keen on you going with this person that may know something than you going inside the ring. So I think this is a good sign.
I have no answers, so I'm going to apologize first and foremost to you, sir. That if your order has any questions for me, I have nothing. I have been risen by flame, and I saw a face in fire once. That is all I know.
You see the flames face too. Have you spoken to Ignis?
Ignis?
You know very little, but we can give you answers. We're not looking for answers from you, but we have those in our order who might be able to divine them away.
I would appreciate that. I have died many times, and if there is a start or something or someone I can ask questions to, I would like that very much.
He looks around for a moment now with everyone who's kind of approached. Ashrin and XC, you now see his face as you're nearby, looking at the groups. All right. I don't mean to be rude, but we keep our location secret. Do you find it acceptable to bring these others along with you?
These are my most trusted companions. I don't know very much about who I am, but I do know I wouldn't be here without all of them. Every last one.
All right.
Including the one Dick.
We've got a long run ahead of us. And it's starting.
Ordell, this is the whole reason you got kicked out of that town. So you could find him.
Do
Fate.
gods work like that?
I don't know, probably.
Hmm.
Like I said, mine hasn't talked to me for a hot minute, but
Well, if this works, I will help you however I can. As you helped me a
Wonderful.
lot today.
As Ordell and Emma converse, the man grabs his best swords and he goes and he leaves the flame there to burn in the small pit that he has. But he walks over to XC and kind of looks XC up and down.
State your intention.
I want to see about your friend, but I'm a bit concerned. Where'd you come from?
That is a very good question. I just came from the bushes.
He looks around briefly. You just found this one in the bushes?
No. If you want actual answers, you're going to have to speak more literally.
Are you a warforged of the dwarves?
That is correct. Of the Luderic dwarves.
Elijah, as he holds his hand out to shake your hand, XC. Do you shake back?
Human contact is not advised. Programming detonates. Contact other than maintenance or combat is not advised.
Yep. You are. And Sia puts the glove back on, seeming to have some recognition to your style of programming. We've got a long run. It's dark. There will be things there. Can you all fight?
Yes.
Of course. And I take my rapier out with a
Bit of a flourish in front of him. He holds the sheath on his sword, not mimicking any sort of flourish, but he says, all right, that'll do. Let's follow me. We're going to have to run through the night to get there, but it will be worth it, I promise you.
I'm gonna get Emma into the Bjorn preemptively since we're running through the night. Because I know like we'll all be pretty good, but like Emma will like probably pass out.
Emma
not
or
like,
Winter? Okay.
Winter. I mean, I'll carry Emma too.
Yeah,
If
if we're going
anything,
to run,
I'll go
I'll
into the
hop on
ring.
that. As Elijah looks forward, he kind of nods to you. You're about to run in and through the darkness here. And if you're going to be running, your chances of going smoothly are going to be very rough, to say the least. However, as you get to the edge of the forest, the man pulls his sword out from the sheath and ties the sheath back to his belt and holds the sword up before you begin to see sparks glow from the handle and light up the blade, and he holds it like a flaming torch in front of him. An easy way to see in the night, to be sure, but definitely a beacon for the dark things of the forest. As he nods to you and begins running with both hands upon the blade, south, opposite of the way that you want to be going.
When he does that, Ordell takes out his maul, looks at it for a second. Never mind. And keeps running.
Ashrin, as you're running, you begin to hear some reticence from Ritter. He's like, where are we going? I don't necessarily... Who is this? Why are we trusting him?
Ordell is not the most trustworthy of everybody, and for him to accept that man's word. Are we running while we're saying? And for him to accept this man's word is it means a lot. And I trust Ordell.
We're just going further from safety. It's fine. Okay. He does not put his bow away at all, holding it in the left hand and an arrow in his right as he runs, making sure... Oh, go ahead.
As he says that, can I be kind of just behind them when they're having this conversation?
Yeah, absolutely.
And as he says, further from safety, incorrect. There is nowhere safe in this area.
My location would be at least safe I could count on, but I don't know where he's taking us.
South.
Yes, as Ritter goes along with the run further down. As he begins running, this man uses this torch to run through the thicket of the trees. However, since Ritter kind of agrees, Ashrin and XC kind of just said, look, we're going with it. Ritter helps out. He's now very kind of focused and aware that he's not really as trusting of this guy, as Ritter is familiar with the forest, though, and allows you to traverse very, very quickly through here. Not only would Ritter be able to help you, but with the light of this flame, you're able to go through with no problems whatsoever. As you're all heading south, it's not long before you reach the edge of the Black Forest. Maybe about an hour or two of running, but you're not going at a jog. This guy's at a run. You're not at like a sprint, but you're going quite quickly as you go through this forest. Everybody roll me a perception.
16.
19.
16 and a 19.
A 9.
7.
Beautiful. Who got the 19?
Exy.
Okay. As you exit the forest, you can see, for the first time in a while, being that you've gone far enough south, some stars way, way, way off in the distance. You seem to be headed back towards that kind of beached town that you were originally told to avoid. You remember that to be Carthage on the map. As you exit, you not only see the lights of some stars, it's kind of comforting to know that you're going further away from this storm. However, XC, you notice that one of the stars up in the sky, what seems to be a very faint light of purple, in one of the stars seems to move.
That's unusual.
It is.
I jog up next to Ordell, and while we're jogging, if you look up, there is a star that is moving, and I point.
As you point at it and make a note to it, you suddenly see it shift offwards and fly down as if going towards the ground very, very quickly. Ordell, as
Is
XC
it
points
towards
it out,
us?
not towards you, it's going down towards the ground. It seems to be quite a distance a ways, but as it goes down towards the ground, what you thought might have been a reflection of one of the stars, it seems to near another one that is now on the ground. These stars begin to almost blink in and out of existence. They're some distance away before all of you begin to hear a horrible shriek off in that direction. Excuse me.
We're still running?
Don't-
Or we stop running?
What are you doing? You tell me.
I think we're still running.
Okay, you're going to keep heading on. It seems to be in the direction that you are going. Ritter,
We should probably stop.
Alex is like, no, we're not. It's not XE. Alex is like, XE points out that we should probably stop. Ritter kind of, what the hell was that thing? Before Elijah
What was
turns
what?
back, says, Nargoleths. This is what I was going to watch out for, but here we are. Get ready. For he seems to increase the intensity of the flame on the sword.
What is a Nargoleth?
As suddenly the blinking of the stars rapidly approaches and is larger. What once looked like a dot quickly begins to look about the size of a marble, a small tennis ball, before it becomes the size of a melon. It seems to be flitting in and out of existence. That kind of horrible, horrible scream that's just kind of goes in and out of being, and it gets louder before suddenly, before you see two beasts seemingly made out of shadows and stars. One of them, a great eye surrounded by what looks like a slumped over frame, almost as if it's a robed figure. Think again, yeah, my neighbor Totoro, but with these two tendril like arms that move out of it and a mouth as wide as the body itself. The other one, this kind of floating, the best can be described as an almost pterodactyl like figure, but instead of wings, it has tendrils and an eye inside where its mouth is, floating towards you and kind of blinking in and out of existence. With that, I'm going to go ahead and need initiative from everybody.
Hey,
Ooh.
natural 20.
Natural 20 with the dicey encounters as well.
Let's see what I get.
I think you have a higher dex than me. Mine's only a +2.
Mine's also only a +2.
14?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Oh, unnatural 20.
Ooh. All right.
Fine then, all of you. 6.
6.
That's all right. You're the important one. You're the one that's going to take the shot. As I tell Winter to stay away from me so I don't hurt her with my spell.
Since both of you have
Go
the
ahead,
same dexterity and the same roll, Cards Against Humanity rules, which of you pooped most recently?
I pooped just before we started.
Oh, you got me beat.
Jakey's first.
That is why I was a little late to our test thing, because, well, let me tell you. Well, so we see two of these horrible nightmare things.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. Yeah. I'm a rage because it feels like a good time to. Just guessing. As my bonus action. And then yeah, Ordell's gonna run up. And I'm gonna bring my maul down on. I'm gonna do robed looking boy, because that one creeps me out more than the other one.
As far as size of these things, the robed figure is maybe about 18 feet tall and maybe about
Oh wow.
10 feet wide. The flying one is about the size of a pterodactyl if you were to describe one. So a huge wingspan, maybe about 20 feet, though the body of it in itself is not all that large, would be about the size of a man.
Cool. Yeah, I'm definitely going for the robot one because I can't hit flying stuff.
Beautiful. Both of you have advantage on your attacks since you rolled a nat 20.
Ooh, heck yeah. With advantage, that's another nat 20. Dice
Nice.
encounters OP.
That works.
Uh,
Buy his last dice. Check him out.
buy it. Get nat 20s for
Do it.
free. Actually, the first one was with the pink one. This one was with the Loki dice. So that's fun. Okay, it's been a hot minute. I gotta look at my attacks and my actions. There it is. Okay, so my maul,
perfectly.
it's 2d6 plus I think it's another d6 for divine fury. So that's 6d6, baby.
Okay.
5, 8, 14, 16.
The little pen's not working. There we go.
23, and then 29, plus 5. So
34.
that's 34 on the first strike.
Okay. As you run up to this with the first, go ahead and give me your second one. Actually,
Yeah, I roll at advantage. That's 14 plus 6,
hits.
so 20 on that 20.
Hits.
That's 10 plus 5, so 15 more damage.
Okay. Beautiful. So 49 total, correct?
Yeah.
Perfect. As you rush up to it with your great maul, you take a swipe into it, not sure when or what you're really going to hit. This thing seems to be more shadow than it is a real physical entity. The almost like bits of starlight seem to reflect off of its shiny, oily form. But as you hit into it, you feel what feels like a heavy body with no bones behind it. It just kind of hits and kind of you can hear it almost echo out on this creature. It hits, but it doesn't do quite as much as you would hope for it to do.
Is it because it's bludgeoning damage, but it's from my wrecking maul, which is it magical or no?
Your wrecking maul is not considered magical.
Oh, okay.
It is just very good at wrecking.
Okay, cool.
Anything else you're doing? Because you're raging currently, right? So no more bonus action?
Yeah, no more bonus action. I guess some of the damage is radiant, but I don't know if that matters.
It would, actually, very much so. One of the D6, so we'll say like 5 of that, if you don't know it offhand.
I think I just realized, I think it's a D6 plus something.
It's
plus
D6
half my
plus
level,
half
isn't
your
it?
level, yeah.
Yeah, so there's 3 damage that I didn't add. So yeah, I'm down with saying like it would have been 2d6 plus 3.
We'll say 8 then.
Sure.
Cool.
It's good for me.
So that part, however, you do begin to see a ray of light as your fiery maul on the end of it, which extends from the tattoos on your arm, slam into it, and a jet of fiery light pours off of this thing. And it does react to that in a less than savory way. That does hit pretty hard. Harder than you expect, actually. All right, that's all you got, correct?
Noted. Yep.
Perfect. End of your turn. It is going to make a legendary action as it's going to take one of those tendrils and try and sweep you up, pick or del up. So I'm going to need an opposing strength roll, just straight strength mod, or we'll do athletics.
Athletics.
Oh no, that's a strength save. Sorry, this is an ability. I'm dumb.
Oh, strength save. Same as athletics. That's a 16 plus 6, 22.
No problem. As the tendrils reach and grasp around you, you're a thick dad boy. No way that's reaching all around. As you pull the tendril off of you with one hand, you can tell this thing has quite a bit of strength to it, though. Emma, it's your go.
I'm gonna attack the flying one because yeah. I'm gonna hit it with a guiding bolt at first level.
Do it. Did you crit again?
No one's gonna believe this. No one's gonna believe this. 2 nat 20s.
Yo.
That's 5 of the 6 rolls have been nat 20s from the two of you.
Now, I will say these aren't my dice. These are delirium dice. So go buy delirium dice, and you two can probably get some nat 20s. And I've also rolled a lot of ones with those too. But hey, 46.
8d6 now.
8d6.
8d6 radiant. Go cleric.
Be gone, thought.
After Emma will be Ash. So for having your turn ready.
All right, let me pull out the calculator here. So 6 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1. 33 damage.
33 damage. Aiming at the flying one, correct?
Aiming at the flying one.
As it begins to do the horrible screaming sound as it's flying towards you, you take a jet of almost lightning and fling it towards it. As it screams, it opens its mouth to see this shiny purple eye on the inside, and it slams into it with radiant energy. In doing so, a spark and a shower of lights now follow behind this thing's tendrils. You can easily see this thing in the sky now with Guiding Bolt.
Nice. Bonus action. I would like to I guess I can't do that. Bonus action, I'm just gonna, I don't know, get ready and kind of scoot back a little bit away from the tentacles.
Okay. So the only one that's right up on him is Ordell, who ran up to the big thing. They're not quite on you yet. They're about 30 feet away, both of them. So you want to step further back from the group?
I'll move 10 feet back.
Okay. So you're a little bit further back. Good. So at the end of your turn, the flying one is going to use its legendary action to fly overhead. It can move 40 feet and now is flying directly above Emma. So slightly away from the rest of the group. It's about 20 feet up right now.
I'm in danger.
Ashrin, it's your go.
How far is the not flying one from me?
About 30 feet.
All right. Boom. I get over there. And then I'm going to... So I imagine
was that?
Smite is actually... Yeah, I imagine that's like taking a rock and then smashing a rapier against it, and it like lights fire. Wrathful Smite activated. And then I'm going to whack it with my rapier. So first Wrathful Smite. Wiz save 14. Oh, 15. Because... Wiz 14. 15.
So, oh, it actually does fail.
Nice.
It is going to use its legendary resistance on this. But I still think it takes the damage, correct?
Yeah.
From Wrathful
What's
Smite?
legendary resistance? Yes.
Because Wrathful makes it afraid, but it still does the damage.
Yes.
Cool.
Correct. Okay, so that's 2 for psychic, and then is it psychic? Hover, psychic. Cool. And then roll to hit for the rapier. That is a 20 to hit.
Definitely hits.
Okay.
Oh. I guess it is a bonus action. Sorry.
It's okay. 10 points of piercing for the first one.
Mm-hmm. And is that including the psychic?
No, that was not. Psychic was just 2.
Okay, so 10 and 2, correct? Yeah. Gotcha.
10 and 2, yes. And then a natural 20 for the second hit.
God, I don't-
So 25
Let's
total.
yucking go,
we need
Mickey.
dice cams.
Dice cams.
Yeah, we do. And then is that 2d8 instead of 1?
Yep. And if you want to smite on top of it, you can.
That's
I can smite on top, even though I already did a smite. I can do a divine smite too.
Doing
because
a
divine
spell
smite
like-
is onto
yeah.
attacks. Yeah, spell is different than your divine smite. Your divine smite you can do once per turn, but your divine smite does not count as you using a spell. You can divine smite as many times as you want
can
on a
divine
turn.
You can divine smite as many times as you hit.
I have been missing my potential as
That's
a
why
paladin when
Paladins
I play.
are straight nukes, is because every time you hit, you can divine smite. It just takes spell slots.
I'm doing that. um, the 8.
Don't forget to
Two,
double
10.
the dice for the Divine Smite too. Because it's a crit.
Paladins.
Yeah.
Do your nuke.
You can use 10 and then
Tell me how much of it is radiant.
so it was 10 piercing regular,
Okay.
and then it was 12 radiant.
That's
That's for the
that
second hit.
that's with 48. It was a 12.
48?
Yeah, smite's
Yeah, it's
2d8.
2d8 normal, and then it depending, and you can also bump it up to extra spell slot levels for more d8s.
Welcome to Paladin, Jackie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
12. Okay, so that's gonna be, and then it's hit. 17 radiant.
So 12 and 17.
12 and 5.
Okay, gotcha. So, as your rapier attempts to pierce into the hide of this horribly fleshy creature, but it doesn't quite allow your rapier to go in as far as you like. However, the radiant energy follows behind like a jet of energy from your rapier and propels your rapier deep into the shadowy portion of this figure, doing tremendous damage, way more than you were expecting it to have done on this thing. Your rapier carves out a hole that does not match the size of the blade that you use.
I thrust and I radiant. Just yell.
Ashwin yells out, "Radiant!" As I think that's all you can do in your turn, correct?
Yeah, it
Then-
is.
Hey,
Yep.
Rybo.
Hey, Emma.
I didn't realize. I for some reason always think it's a casting time of 1 action, but it's a bonus action. Could I have done Spiritual Weapon as a bonus action on my last turn? to go
No,
ahead and
because you
summon it?
cast a other spell. You can do a cantrip in
That's
spiritual
right.
weapon.
That's why I always. Okay, got
Yep.
it. Thanks.
So, Ashrin, before it goes to the next turn, which is theirs, at the end of yours, they react with their tendrils and try and do the same thing that happened to Ordell. I need a strength save to you.
Okay.
Was this an attack?
This is an ability.
15.
15 barely doesn't make it. You need a 16. So, as Ashrin pulls back the rapier and kind of impressed with herself, turns and says, "Radiant!" before getting pulled up by the tendrils and now dangles freely over this thing's gaping maw. It's going to go to their turn. Ashrin, it drops you. I need a con saving throw from you.
Why can't I just... Okay, that's fine. 23.
23?
Yes.
Okay, very good. As you find yourself suddenly encased in pure blackness, as you can feel its organs shrink and pressurize around you, you can tell you're getting swallowed by this creature. As it's doing so, you begin to feel almost hairs like your own rush along your arms and begin to try and find their way and pierce their way into the pores of your skin. But you hold on, and your constitution allows you to prevent these tendrils from making their way in. You are currently restrained inside this creature's belly. Emma, I'm going to need a strength saving throw from you.
Okay.
The Boar story
Hey.
arc.
So I rolled a 19 minus 1, so an 18.
18, no problem. As this floating creature above you, you would expect it to have to flap its wings at some point, but it just holds them there and hovers above you as the tendrils at the end of its wings crawl downwards and begin lashing out towards you to pick you up and bring you up into this creature. But you are able to hold yourself onto the ground and pull away from the many tendrils that attack you, but you're currently busy and occupied with that. As it's going to go to Ritter and to Elijah's turn, as Ritter is going to take a shot at the big one who just ate Ashrin, and to do. Okay, so Ritter fires 2 shots into the big one. The first shot, Ashrin, you briefly, for a flash of a moment, see a bright blue flash before it disappears. Ordell, Emma, XC, and Elijah, and Winter, all see a form apparate away from this. Much like those blue lights that you saw before, it takes the shape of the giant creature before immediately turning into a small boy next to this creature. An almost translucent, bright blue child now stands next to this creature. Ritter takes a second before he's about to take a shot at the child before he stops, and he actually holds his second attack and kind of falls to his knees, as he has still got to do damage with that first one. Okay. His arrows don't exactly hit as hard as he would like for it to. Before it goes to Elijah's turn, who runs over to the flying one above and tries to take a whack at the tendrils, but he can't quite make it. So instead, he reaches upwards and puts his hand up in the sky before you see an explosion about 30 feet up that rocks the sky. Ashrin, well, you can't see it, but everyone, it very much mimics Winter's fireball, as this thing does dodge, so it quickly moves out of the way and takes less damage, but it still is hurt. As XC, it's going to go to your turn.
How close to Winter am I?
It's on Ordell's back. Winter is, so about 30 feet away.
Okay, well, I guess I'm not pulling Winter back. I will retreat about 40 feet.
Okay.
30 feet, 40 feet.
I was going to say, I
30
think you
feet's
can
fine,
run
I can
30,
move.
right?
I just checked. Yeah, it's 30 feet. Giving myself some distance between everything. And then I am going to hold my action.
Okay.
And the action I'm holding is if one of them comes towards me.
Okay, sounds good.
I will then shoot.
Winter looks toward Dell and says, I'm just trying to do my best. Brie here, what the fuck is that? As he looks at the small blue boy before Winter's gonna do a scorching ray on this giant thing. No crits, but 3 hits. She shoots 3 jets of green flame into this big beastie, doing a sizable chunk of damage. It's not looking too great. There
one
are
on
quite a
the-
few holes in it where Ashrin and co have been slicing into it with magical damage. As at the end of Winter's turn, Ordell, I will allow you to make the strength save for Winter since she's currently in your back. The tendril comes for Winter upon your back.
Thank God for Barbarian's advantage, baby. Unnatural 20.
Okay, no problem. Winter does get lifted out of the back of your little baby Bjorn, but you grab her by the foot and immediately pull her away from the tendril and place her back in the Bjorn. She's like, okay, let me down, before you don't. You just place her right back in the Bjorn and go to your business. As it's going to go to your turn, Ordell.
Yeah, Ordell just like looks up in giant. He says,
You shouldn't have done that.
and I'm gonna swing recklessly at the big stinky boy. 22, and I'm just
Hits.
gonna roll my second attack because it wasn't a crit.
Yeah.
But I will roll radiant separately. Oh, it did the thing where one of them was like 22. But like, but 19 still plus 6. So,
2?
I'll do the physical damage, then I'll do the radiant last.
It rolled on 2?
No, it's advantage. So it went.
Oh, okay.
2.
I was like,
Yeah.
I
No,
thought you
one
meant
of
like
them
it
was a
at 20
19,
and it
but one of them
turned.
went like 20 and then 2.
Gotcha.
Yeah, sorry. Barbarian stuff, but it has advantage on me if it attacks me now.
Cool.
4. That's better. 4, 10, 15 plus 10 from both the attacks, so that's 25, and then so that's 25 bludgeoning, and then 8 more radiant damage.
Okay. As you again hit into it, you're not exactly getting much purchase with your second hit, but the first one, as a jet of flame and rage extends to your mace, it does seem to cut a small chunk out of this thing, doing more damage than your entire maul did on it.
Oh, I guess I'm gonna take an unarmed strike because I forgot I have Tavern Brawler, so I'm gonna Falcon Punch it. It probably won't do as much as I hope. Actually, wait, is Elijah near me?
No, he's next to Emma.
Oh, okay. Okay, never mind.
Okay. You gonna punch it
Or
still?
is anything lit? I'm still gonna take my unarmed strike, but is anything lit from when Emma did, or from when Scorching Ray was hit?
No. Winter shot 3 giant holes through the creature, but it is not
Okay.
on fire.
Nothing's on fire. Okay. Then I'm just gonna take my unarmed strike. How big is this, like size wise?
It is considered huge. Yeah, that's the one above large.
Okay.
Yeah, so huge.
Okay, so I don't think I can grapple it. That's okay. That's a 1 and a 7, so I don't think like a 13 hits.
So you have a plus 12 to hit?
No, I have a 1 and a 7 because advantage because recklessly attacking.
Oh, 13 does hit, so.
Oh, okay. 3 plus 5 bludgeoning damage from me Falcon punching it. So 8 more damage.
Beautiful. As you punch it, I'm going to go ahead and need a con save from you.
Oh boy. I don't have advantage, but my con score, con is my strongest stat. Oh boy. I can roll the 5, but I have plus 8, so 13.
Okay. As you hit it twice with your maul and just say, this is gonna hurt worse, as you like punch it with your fist, you feel as if you're hitting a raw pool, and as you do so, what was described to Ashrin, almost like tiny little needles, though Ashrin was able to hold it at bay, begin to pour through the very pores of your hand and pull inside you as you're being what feels like dragged inside this creature. Jakey, what is your total con score?
20.
20. Your con is reduced by half to 10. And you are level 6,
Jeez.
correct?
Yeah.
That's 5. You're going to take 30 points off of your max HP as a result.
Oh my
temporarily.
God. Okay. Oh,
You're
boy.
being
Where's
pulled
my
in, but you're
concern
not
cup?
quite in this creature yet, but you can feel yourself slowly moving inwards.
Damn, boy!
Emma,
Oh boy.
I need
before
my
your
concern
turn,
cup.
concern cup, Ordell, now that it's at the end of your turn and you're being pulled inwards, one of the tendrils is going to reach at Winter, who's on your back. Winter does not make the strength save and is now hovering over the gaping maw of this creature, just like Ashrin was. Emma, it's your go.
Wait. Didn't I get to make the strength saves for her, or no?
Not now that you're getting pulled in.
Okay. Dang.
I have advantage against this flying one since I shot it with a guiding bolt, so I'm gonna again shoot it with another guiding bolt.
I definitely thought XC was gonna Hemet Nezingway that thing and shoot it out of the sky.
I thought
but...
so. Yeah, I thought so too, but I was like, all right. So I'm gonna do another guiding bolt on it, so I can get advantage on this one, and then give advantage again on whoever hits it next.
There you go. XC's like, you made me autonomous. I want to keep myself
Sorry,
alive
sorry.
later.
What was that, Emma? What was that?
XC, shoot it.
Does
I
Emma say that?
No.
Okay.
Probably not. Because she's probably focused on herself at the moment. Not trying to die. Yeah, doing another guiding bolt. Rolled at advantage, a 7 and a 19. So 19 plus
Hits.
7. Okay. 4d6. Give me my little dicey dice. All right. 10, 14, and 16. So, wait, no. Yeah, 16. 10, 14, 16. Yeah. Sorry, I can't count.
You sure?
I'm bad at math. Yeah, I'm
Okay.
positive. I'm
As,
positive. 2 5s, a 4, and a 2.
You see it aimed downwards towards you with its mouth open and the eye looking towards you. You shoot yet another bolt of radiant lightning up towards it, hitting the exact same mark as before, creating a giant hole in the center of this thing's eye that seems to reform itself with shadow, but the tendrils that keep lapping towards you are now coated in a golden light. Still doing its job, and it seems to hurt it very, very well with that radiant damage.
I'm gonna move away from it even more. Just back it on up. Back it on up.
Oh, so you're gonna move?
Which way?
I mean, if the am I gonna get opportunity attack from the tentacles if I move?
I don't know.
Oh well, then no. I guess I'll just stay there.
Okay. The tendrils are all around you. You want to stay near them, or do you want to run away?
I want to get away from them
Okay, where are you running?
safely. Wherever the hell safely gets me away from these tentacles.
Well, you
There's
can run
direction.
towards XC, towards Ordell, or in a completely different direction.
I guess towards XC, and then I guess I'll yell, XC, shoot it!
Perfect. So as you rush over towards XC, you have the distance to be able to get there. It's going to use its action. It doesn't make an attack of opportunity, but it does fly towards you and is now hovering directly over you and XC.
Hold on, before it does, doesn't my held action go off?
It's not
'Cause it is moving
attacking you.
towards me.
But was it moving towards
Said
you?
moving towards.
I
Okay, I
said
thought it was
moving
attacking.
towards and it
Then
was
yeah,
attacking.
you get to totally shoot it.
Okay,
Aha.
and I believe it's got a guiding bolt, right?
It does.
It does.
Advantage.
Advantage for you.
All right. Well, no nat 20s here today, but that's a total of 24 to hit.
24 definitely hits.
That hits. Great.
Really? Huh.
It's gotta happen once.
That's
in a while.
crazy.
Jackie.
So that is 13 damage.
Do I give you a GFY or an inspo?
That's
Inspo.
absolutely inspo. That's 10 to 10.
You can have an inspo. 13 damage, you said, correct?
13, correct.
Okay. As you aim up towards this thing, you fire the shot resounding out in this giant open area that you're in, and you hit right on the eye that Emma marked with their bolt. In doing so, it shoots through, but it seems to pass through it more than it does hit it. It doesn't quite do as much damage as you'd like.
Mm-hmm.
You have a second shot if you'd like.
Yep, I am gonna pump this up.
Pump up the
Pump
jams.
it up. Pump jam.
Let's
Oh,
Put the
throw,
beat on
man,
pumping.
pump it up.
throw 3 grit into it. Why
3
not?
grit. Okay. You want this
That's a
patera?
nat 20. Look, I'm not making this shit up. I honestly not. I can't. I gotta move it anyway.
We're
It's
just
fair.
great.
It's a new set of dice too. I'm sorry.
It happens.
Hey,
Bye,
I gave
guys.
you a round of no attacks. I'm just saying.
Buy dicey encounters and level up dice today.
Oh gosh.
Do it.
Now I've got to work out the dice I need. All right. Well,
20 million dice.
So while math happens, chat, I recommend the song At Doom's Gate for this combat. Mwah. The Doom soundtrack is
Oh, yeah.
perfect.
Pump the jam. Pump it up. You know, body started.
and then plus. All right. So that one's 47. Oh no, sorry, I missed 2d12. 40, 49, 54.
Good. I like that. Yes.
That's a good number.
That numbers.
Hi,
As-
Space Pterodactyl.
I was like, I'm not gonna get a crit today. It's gonna be fine. At least one of us doesn't get it, and there it goes.
As you this time you shoot it once and are just angry that it doesn't explode.
It's working.
Instead, you basically like feel like your gun is jammed and didn't shoot quite as much as you'd like it to. You roll backwards to have the bullet. If it's not going to affect it very much, you're going to have it not affect it throughout the whole body, and instead shoot it through the mouth so it goes all the way out the tongue, doing an incredible amount of damage. Not as much as you would like. Still, you know that's not going to happen, but still, even with half damage, a sizable chunk. This thing's not looking very good either. As anything else? Well, it's actually just the end of Emma's turn. That was just your held action.
Yeah.
As
Yeah, no, nothing else for me. I'm just running. Shoot it!
Ashwin, at the start of your turn, I need a strength saving throw.
No. Okay. That's a natural one.
Good.
Oh no.
You are unable to escape the insides of this creature and feel yourself being pulled further down. You can still take actions, but any actions you have in here are going to be at disadvantage.
Or
Or
would you
not
say
that.
I'm touching the creature?
You are, in fact, touching the creature.
Oh, then I will do inflict wounds.
Hey, there we go. That's a necrotic damage, correct?
I thought you were going to lay on hands for a second.
That is. Oh, you know what? Yes. No. Yes. I already said it. I'm gonna do it.
Good,
That
yeah.
is necrotic. Yes.
Cool,
And I have to,
just
it's a
wondering.
roll to hit. I thought it was a save. That was why I thought I did something wrong. But
Gotcha. Disadvantage then.
still disadvantage. 9 to hit.
9 total.
Yes.
Barely misses.
Cool.
Just barely. Disadvantage. As Ashwin, you try and lay your palms against the innards of this creature. You jet forward a bolt of necrotic energy, but you can feel as soon as you're about to, it must have a stomach cramp or something as the innards squeeze around you, pulling your fingers together, canceling the somatic component of the spell. And it just doesn't do what you need it to.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That's all I can do.
Okay. I need a con save from you at the end of your turn.
Okay. Dicey encounters, don't fail me now. A 21.
21. Again, you stave off these tendrils. You can feel them trying to find any open pore that they can, but your innate magical abilities and the religion that you pray to fends them off. The radiant energy protects your skin. As at the end of your turn, we're going to have the pterodactyl version 1, who is now very upset at XC, fling the tendrils towards him. I'm going to need a strength save from you, XC.
22.
No problem. As this comes downwards, you take some black powder from your pocket and just fling it upwards and ignite it, causing the tendrils to move away from you, not even able to touch on your metallic skin. It's going to go to their turn now. The one that has Winter dangling above its head drops Winter. And in doing so, Winter's going to have to make the same con save that you are, Akron. And she got a 2. Winter's con is reduced by half as well. Ordell, you are pulled further into this thing. I need a strength save to see if you can avoid being completely engulfed.
With advantage, that's 18 for
18.
strength.
You are able to free your hand from this thing, though you are feeling incredibly tired.
I don't want to pull my hand free, but can I keep hold of it? If that's the difference, like I don't want it to move me, but I want to keep my hand connected to this thing.
Yeah, if you want to keep your hand on it, you totally can.
Yep.
Sounds good. I'm going to need a con save then.
Okay. That's better. 26.
You squeeze your hand around the tiny hair-like tendrils that try and make their way into your pores, and in doing so seem to snap some of them off or cinch some of them shut, and they're not able to make their way any further into your body. The floating pterodactyl one is going to fling its tendrils at both Emma and XC, since you were right near each other. So strength saves from both of you again.
13.
22.
Emma.
Again.
22. XC, you again shoot out a jet of black powder that prevents it from grabbing you. But in doing so, you only barely just now see Emma getting grabbed by the rib cage by these tendrils and pulled upwards in towards
Why did you
this
bring
thing.
it to me?
Emma, you
Why
are
didn't you shut it earlier?
elevated 30 feet in the air, and it forces your arms out and apart as you can see a hole about your size appear in its wings, as if it's trying soon to engulf you. It's going to go to our allies' turn. You can see the small bluish boy fade and disappear. Instead of trying to hurt this, Ritter stows his bow on his back and rushes over towards Ordell, casting a quick healing spell for...
Been taking actual damage though. My max health is just reduced, right?
He thinks you're hurt, so he's going to try and help.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So he will heal you for 8 points, but again, goes nowhere.
Yeah, I was gonna say nothing happens.
Elijah has no reservations, however, and instead looks up towards Emma. Yeah, he doesn't really have any other... He looks over towards Ordell fighting the big thing and up at Emma and chooses that, Emma, you're not the fight he wants. And he's going to dash to get over towards Ordell. He wants to save Ordell. You can see his sword begin to glow and change colors of flame, now being a bright neon orange. You kind of mimic or see something very similar into the way Ashrin prepares her smites. As it's going to go to XC. It's your turn.
All right. So I am, first of all, just a quick quip towards Emma. Do not bring them to me again. And then I lift up my arm. You hear this whirling sound as if the hopper is about to shoot through a whole bunch of bullets. And I action surge, so I get 4 shots.
Nice. I love it.
Instead.
Quick.
Bam, 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 bam.
I love it.
And the first shot will be a tracer shot, followed by pumped up shot, and then 2 more shots.
I like it.
Even if it dies, I'm just going to fire all 4.
Oh,
of them,
yeah,
right now, I'm just pissed as pissed as a robot with no emotions can be. And this one accidentally hits Emma, and accidentally hits Emma.
I am completely neutral right now. Bang, 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 bang.
All right, first shot. All right, first shot is a 16 to hit.
Hits.
Beautiful. So that's my tracer kicking in. That does 6 damage.
6 damage. Okay.
All right. So second shot. We'll use the last 2 crits I've got. And we'll also take a -5 penalty to get 10 extra damage because of my snipe.
Grit is so neat.
So 19. I'm pretty happy with that. So 23 to hit.
23 definitely hits.
All right. So that is...
After XC, it'll be Winter, then Ordell.
Jeez.
What do you mean, geez? You crit before with 3 grit points. What can this do?
This has done 47 damage with that crit, so I'm pretty happy with that. So
Wait.
47 there. Yeah.
Okay.
I rolled really bad on my crit. And this time I rolled 11s and 12s, most of it. Third shot. Oh. I don't think an 11 will hit, will it?
It does.
It does hit?
Does
Beautiful. So that's 7 more damage.
Okay. Though these do not do exactly what you would like for them to do, they're still quite punishing, as now you can see several holes in this creature and see the night sky above it. It is barely hanging on there.
And final shot, because there's 4, is a 20 to hit.
Definitely hits.
For 16 damage.
It
And
is
everything's expired.
really barely on there. A few of the tendrils are hanging by what look like strings and threads, barely pulling Emma upward, but still pulling her upward. Right.
And I then attempt to retreat 30 foot away from it.
Okay. You run away. I don't think there's anything else you can do, correct?
I can do a bonus action. But I've got nothing I want to do bonus-wise.
Okay. As its legendary action, it is going to fly to the north, 40 feet away. So it'll be 70 feet away from you, 70 feet away from Ordell, just at a different angle. As it's going to go to Winter's turn.
But no extra elevation, right? Right?
No, it just flies straight. Winter fails her strength save, so she's definitely not going to be able to get out of there. It's like Winter to fireball something, right? But she, not in this case. She would hurt herself. She'd be okay with hurting Ashrin, I feel. But she would also hurt herself, so she's not going to. She's going to try and Scorching Ray 3 more times. Disadvantage.
She's a queen now. She doesn't care about her constituents.
That's fair.
She'll just make me one of her own, right? That's what she wants.
2 of the Scorching Rays fizzle out, not able to get enough oxygen to even light on fire, but the third one does shoot out for a bit of damage. Not a lot, but some. This thing's not doing great, but not doing too bad. As she's going to make another con save. She fails that again. Her now halved con is halved once more. If you could look at her, she's not doing very good. As it's going to go up to Ordell's turn.
I'm gonna take my bonus action first, because it's attached to my hand. Yes, like it's been doing like something like sucking the life from me.
Correct.
Cool. Ordell's gonna like clench his fist, cock back as much as he can, like keeping it attached to him, and I'm gonna unarmed strike with him. And my first melee strike makes it radiant damage, so I'm gonna channel my radiant damage in a melee hit through it being tethered to me. So I don't know
like
what
it.
that's gonna do, but that's what I'm gonna do recklessly.
I like it.
That is a 22.
Definitely hits.
The bludgeoning damage is 8, and then the radiant damage, max 9.
9. Beautiful. So let's see. As you basically grasp part of it, like trying to grab somebody's shirt, and in doing so, create a jet of rage-induced fiery energy that just singes the flesh on this thing, and you can begin to see embers kind of pull outwards like on a piece of paper caught on fire. This thing did not like that radiant damage, and you can hear it react horrifyingly against this.
Cool. And then just two more of my swings with the maul.
Okay, do it.
A 17 plus 6, and then a it's between 2 and 20. It's cocked, but I'll re-roll it. I was like, oh, nah, but still an unnatural 20 on the second one.
Both hit.
Oh yeah, it has like 10 AC, right?
10, yeah.
So I just have to not roll a 3.
Ashrin's like, shut up.
You're welcome for the info.
9, 10, so 19, 29 total from both of the hits.
Okay.
But bludgeoning.
It too now is barely standing as you keep beating on it in this kind of hole that you're creating with your raging fire with the maul. Still not quite getting the purchase you want, though. This thing begins to kind of crumple and slump over as you're whacking into it. I think that's all you've got, correct? Bonus and full action, unless you're going to move
that's
away.
everything.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm staying right with it.
Okay. At the end of your turn, it's going to run away. So you can get an attack of opportunity on it. And
absolutely.
Elijah can as well.
18.
Come on. Natty 1 for his attack of opportunity with his giant smite flaming sword.
Yikes.
You sure you want to go with this guy, Ordell? You sure?
Yeah, right?
He sucks. He tried to fireball.
15 more
Emma,
bludgeoning
we can't
damage.
hear you. You're away.
Shut up.
15 more? Okay.
Yeah.
This thing begins to kind of swirl on the floor before, as it moves away, it's going to go... Yeah, that's its legendary. So, Emma, it's your go. You're currently
hello,
being
darkness.
lifted in the air by the tendrils.
My old friend. Can I just yell at it with one word and say, stop? Casting command.
Yeah, go for it. What's the save on that?
It's a wisdom of 15, which it'll probably pass.
It doesn't pass, but it does legendary resistance it.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm just flying away.
As you command it to stop, you can see its head kind of twitch as if it wants to obey your command before floating aimlessly towards the north.
Okay.
At the end of your turn, it's going to do a legendary action and fly even further away. So it is 100 and well, it'd be 111 or 110 feet away from everybody now. Ash,
Bye, guys.
Oh,
need a strength save from you.
Okay, sure. Cool, cool, cool. Cool, 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 cool. 17.
17. Exactly what you need. You are going to be able to push out part of this and as such begin to try and make your way out of the inside of this creature and crawl up its intestinal tract is the best way it can be described. You're able to get your footing in here and kind of use your shoulders to hold it up and make small steps forward. So you can use your action to try and excavate this creature, or you can try and attack it, not at disadvantage now that you're standing inside of it.
I'm gonna attack it from the inside.
Do it, Drax.
I'm angry. Where is Gomorrah? Okay, sorry. Roll to hit. Oh, dude, 22 to hit.
Definite hit.
Okay, and then this is just gonna be. I didn't smite. It's okay. I'll just take
You
the
can
loss
smite
for
now. When you hit, you can choose to
yeah,
smite.
you can smite whenever you hit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
then-
you get a
Welcome
call
to
smites after. That's why
Paladin.
you can smite crit. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Jackie's like,
Wrathful
my
smiting.
class got so much better tonight.
It
Yeah.
did. It really did. But I'm not gonna. Sorry, I said wrathful. I'm gonna do divine.
Yeah. You can only
That was
do a
22.
divine if you haven't prepped any sort of special smite ahead of time.
Cool. Cool. That is a 10 piercing, and then 14 radiant.
As Ordell, you see it get away, barely kind of slumping, but moving incredibly fast for such a large creature. You suddenly see it begin to puff out and swell before exploding as Ashran stands there, rapier up in the sky, very He-Man-like, as a jet of red and gold energy shoots upwards as the shadows explode and dissipate. Ashran, you see Winter fall onto the ground nearby. She looks like a former shell of her old self. It looks like the blood from her veins has been sapped away from her. She is not doing good.
I run. I dash however much it takes, and I'm immediately going to lay on hands.
Is that a bonus action?
It's an
It is
action.
to yourself. It's an action for someone else.
Okay, you'll have to do that on the next turn.
Oops.
Anything else
Look
you're
at
doing? But you
Elijah
run
though
over
and
her.
say, "She's the strong one."
Noted. Before he turns and looks back to the pterodactyl one. I don't think, unless you have some bonus action you want to do, I don't think you have anything else, correct?
I do not.
Perfect. So at the end of your turn, it's going to go to the Nargaleth's turn. Emma, you are pulled
I'll fly away, oh glory.
upwards and into as the shadows reach and cover the entirety of your body. You can feel your arms involuntarily moving alongside these wings being pulled up and down. Need a con saving throw from you.
Okay, I got a pretty good con, right? Right? Yeah, I'll take that. And it's a save.
Correct.
19.
19,
Plus
no
3,
problem.
19.
You don't enjoy the feeling of having your arms forced to flap like a bird, but you also aren't being actively hurt by this. You can feel the tendrils search for any sort of skin, but they seem to just crawl their way around your bone. However, you feel one of them prod at the marrow inside your bone, and that worries you. As it's going to fly and go further away, so it's about 150 feet away from everybody now.
50.
As it goes to XC, it's your turn.
All right. You hear, well, if anyone was nearby, you hear XC mumble 011011000011, which loosely translates into like an FK. I drop to the floor, extend out my gun, and shoot the bird and pterodactyl thing as well as I can, and I fire.
Go ahead, roll to hit.
I am also taking. He says.
Don't worry about it.
It says the 0110 again, and puts in a special bullet and fires.
Did you roll a nat 1 with the first one?
I did not. I haven't rolled anything yet.
Oh, okay.
I just rolled. I rolled a 4 and a 13. So 21 to hit.
Hits.
All right. Well, easy come, easy go.
Will you let me go?
So that is 19 damage from inflict wounds.
So,
and 9 damage from the bullet itself.
You use the tape of inflict wounds on
I
the
do.
bullet, correct? So, let me explain to you what happens. As the bullet flies up towards this shadowy being, Emma, you hear the shots, and then suddenly your ears are racked with a horrifying, terrible scream. Exy, as the bullet and the tape connects to the shadowy skin, you can see it sizzle out, much like the flames that Ordell lit on the first one, except this one is the shadow beginning to move upwards like a sudden smoked puff as it rapidly extends around as this creature tries to flap before it seems to almost reach like a hand outwards, and the shadows... As Emma, you're falling.
I get as I'm falling because I have nothing to stop me from doing this yet. At least I have no feather fall or anything. I am gonna just get raucous and hold him close
Buddy, as
I
you
plummet to the earth.
you fall 30 feet, so you're going to take 3d6, which will get doubled. Not too bad. 10, so 20 bludgeoning damage. Not too bad.
Okay, it doesn't feel nice.
Emma,
It's that new hip armor I put on today.
XC, you see the shot ring through as this thing suddenly turns into a jet of smoke that flies upwards as the skeletal, not remains, but body of your friend falls from the sky and lands in the ground.
Do I have time to take my second shot towards the other?
They're both dead.
Oh, they're both dead.
Yeah,
Brilliant.
you killed the second one. As
All right.
hold on, Verity has a really good token idea that may just swap out for a different token thing. So just adding them to let them know. As the shadow falls down, you look over and see Elijah standing next to Ordell and Ritter on his knees, with Elijah's sword still glowing, but it returns to a regular blade covered in flame. Ashrin now leans over the body of Winter. Ashrin, what are you doing again?
Laying these hands.
Lay those hands. How much you healing her for?
Wait, do I also see Emma in a bad state as well?
I'm 150 feet away. Don't worry about me.
Yeah, she's real far away. You do
Okay,
see that
I'm
she
gonna-
falls out of the sky, but you don't see the state that she's in.
Oh, wait. Ooh, but then I can't do lay on hands because she's dead because necrotic. Wait, oh no. But if she's dead, do I do healing or do I do necrotic?
She looks
Oh,
to be
no.
alive, quote unquote. She's breathing, if that gives any context.
Okay, because I know back in the cave we were seeing if necrotic damage did healing or not.
You were
Okay, I'm
there
gonna
for
do just to be sure. I want to do 1 HP lay on hand and see if that hurts her or helps her.
As
No,
you look,
you would know.
I
She
would.
would know because up above I shot her with inflict wounds.
well, no,
I was
that's
in front of
inside.
everybody.
yeah. You saw the Toll the Dead, but that's up to you if you fully trust it or not. You haven't done it yourself.
Oh, so I did see the Toll the Dead
Yeah, Emma did do that.
work. Okay, I'm gonna do a 2nd level inflict wounds then.
Okay. How much damage
That's
do you
fair.
deal to her?
I do. Let's not do d10s very much. Okay, there we go.
words has a
5,
point. You did
9.
also try and heal her once, and she was not very happy about it.
Mhm.
Yes. Yep. 14, 21, 30
Nice.
of
30.
damage.
As you reach your hands out towards her shoulder, she looks up at you, Ash, before you attempt to heal her. You send waves of necrotic energy, trying to singe any sort of nerve endings that she has. What would be a very horrifying blow to anybody if you were doing this to a normal person. But in this case, you feel like you're sending her a shot of adrenaline. But she doesn't seem to heal up from this. As you place your hands upon her, you're not doing any harm, but you're also not doing any good to her. She seems to just be zapped and completely drained of energy.
Winter,
Ash?
winter, winter.
So
And
weak.
I brush her hair away from her face so I can see her properly.
I'm so
I
weak,
know.
I can barely move my arm up.
No, just stay, please, stay. Don't move. I tried to help you right now, but it didn't do anything. Don't move, please, don't move.
What happened to me?
I don't know. I didn't get to see much of it, but you're okay. You're okay.
Elijah picks up Ritter by the scruff of the shirt and says, "Yep, we can't stay here. Go get the bones one and let's go." For Ritter, kind of, well, what was that? We'll talk about it later. Go! Before Ritter just quickly runs over to try and help Emma. XC and Ordell, what are the two of you doing?
I will head over to Emma while I will change to my ostrich running style and run over there as quick as I can.
Backwards legs as XC begins running swiftly to get over to Emma, meeting Ritter there. Emma, your shoulder is half buried in the dirt from the fall, but you're alive,
Doing
which
pretty
is
good.
what matters. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're not doing too bad.
I'm surprisingly doing pretty good.
You are able to get up and dust the dirt off and over before
Pulling
Ritter.
branches out of like my crown and out of areas.
We need to talk whenever we get to a place to stop. I'm very concerned.
About what?
What we just killed.
They are scary. I thought it was gonna fly away with me.
Are you all right?
The others. And Emma's like ignores the conversation, pushes Ritter out of the way, and starts running back.
Ritter looks at XC like, okay, before
I
following
guess
along.
she is still alive.
As Emma, you rush back over. Ordell, what are you doing during this time?
Raid.
Raid,
Raider.
hey!
Raiders, you're the good raiders. You're not the ones we go to attack.
As
It's true.
we kill no more raiders in this in this sequence. We're only killing bad shadows now. Ordell, you stand next to Elijah and you see Emma, XC, and Ritter begin running off towards Ashrin and Winter, who sits on the ground.
Ordell, I think, is using his like weapon as a support system right now because he has half of his constitution gone. So he went from like a big boy to now he's still like large, but like skin is more shallow and like more sunken features.
The
And
best
he's
way to
just like
describe it is you're deflated. The blood that would pump your veins, that would power your muscles and keep you going. You look almost like a skin sack has been put around you. A lot of your muscles are completely deflated down. You can barely hold this maul as it is.
yeah. So I'm just basically like using it as like an oar to help me walk. Ordell doesn't feel super great.
Are you all
Yeah,
right?
I'm just gonna start walking towards where Buddy was going.
We have people that can fix this. We just need to get back.
Lead the way.
Everyone now rushes over Ashrin, who looks over Winter as Winter lays on her back and looks up. Hi. don't think I can get up now, guys.
Oh, no, here, and I'll try to help.
As you try and help her get up, she still has some strength, but there is nothing left in her. It is just, it's sad to look at. You almost wonder if death might have been better. You're barely able to hold her up on the shoulder. She looks at Ordell with concern on her face and kind of a mutual sadness between the two of you. Elijah says, "We've got to get out of here. Just get to Carthage, and then we'll deal with this."
I will lean down past Ashrin and pick up Winter and pop her where I put her last time when I carried her when I was running. Instead of that front sort of section above in front of my chest.
Mm-hmm.
As I lean back up, my head sort of looks over to Ashrin, and in the night with the flaming swords still going on, Exy turns to her while he's lifting up Winter and goes, "Has anyone ever told you that the configuration and juxtaposition of your features is extraordinarily shiny?" And then he puts her on and gets walking.
To Ashrin, you say
No.
that?
To Ashrin, yeah.
Okay, just making sure.
Shiny. I'm just running. No!
Are you all now running towards Carthage?
Wardell's doing his best version of a run, but yes.
Gotcha. As you're going, Elijah does make an effort to put his arm under yours to help keep you moving quickly while holding the sword out like a torch in front of him, Ordell. He does not offer the same sort of help or even to get Winter up onto XC, but he does offer it to Ordell. But you all continue heading to the south. This run doesn't really slow down, with XC being able to carry Winter and Ordell having some strength still left, though weakened and frail, able to move and kind of keep up. As a barbarian, you would lose some speed, but you're able to keep up pace with people who normally can't keep pace with you. And so as you keep going further down to the south, Elijah holds his sword up high as you run. There's probably another hour of running at this point. You can hear noises way off in the distance coming from all directions around you, but nothing appears to approach you like those did before. And they also don't sound like the Nargaleths did when they attacked you. Eventually, you can begin to see stars reflecting off of the ground before you suddenly realize that it's not ground but ocean, or a giant pool of water that you see now reflecting the stars above. As you do so, Elijah waves his sword around in a circular pattern, and in doing so, several other fires begin to appear like torches in the town. This town looks to be run down and shabby. Not even at the level the NOV was. Many of the buildings here are destroyed, and as the fires light it up, you can begin to see all of the edges of these buildings. What must have been fully made wooden structures have been incinerated and mostly burnt to the ground. There are a few homes here. They seem to have once been built in a line, as if homes on a beachfront here. This town extends for miles off on either direction, but no houses are blocking either view of this, what once must have been great beach view. Even at night here, you can begin to see the moonlight reflecting off and recognize the beauty that this place must have once had. But all of the bungalows and homes and tents that are here are shells of their former selves. A few of the torches converge on each other, and you can see three cloaked and hooded figures, much like what Elijah wears, all gather around to see you approach, and you recognize that their torches are not torches, but swords, much like Elijah's, lit aflame. As you approach, Elijah says, "Hold on here just a moment. Let me go warn them," before he stows his blade and walks away, leaving you all alone for a moment. see? Did you see when I shot that thing?
It was a child.
I can't go into it now, or how I know, but that thing is a child, or was, or something. That thing was that boy.
This is a very bad place, Ritter. And I think we're starting to see how bad this place can really be.
I couldn't shoot it. I couldn't do it.
I wouldn't have been able to either.
I could. He just kind of falls to the ground and just kind of inward to himself. I couldn't do it.
Nothing
Ritter.
to blame yourself about.
Just kind of.
I check on Winter while this is happening.
Winter is having a hard time breathing. Her constitution went from 14 to 7 to 3.
Oh. Oh.
Winter sits like a rag doll on your makeshift throne, barely able to even hold herself onto there. As you look down at her, she looks up. Hexy. Water? You have water?
I look over at Ashrin. Do we have any water?
I look at how many days has it been? I haven't been marking it because I kind of lost track of how days. Do we have water?
This would probably be your last day for water.
I give as much as Winter needs it.
Like in Return of the King, where Sam is giving Frodo the last bit of water from the water skin, it just kind of barely trickles out as she greedily laps it up, and you can see the dryness on her lips as if she hasn't had a drink for weeks. She greedily and happily takes this, and you can see a bit of just light in her eyes. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Before Elijah returns back over at a jog, he says, "Come on then. I told them the circumstance. They'll want to see you. But first, let's tend to your wounds. We can deal with that later."
And to hers as well, please. Hers before mine.
See if we can do both at the same time. Come with me. Before...
I'm
Oh, go ahead.
going to hand Winter to Ordell.
Yeah, Ordell, because he still has his strength, takes her as gently as he can. He's just kind of walking.
Just out of breath as you do it.
Yeah, basically.
It's very rough. You no longer are able to jog or walk. It is a slog for you. Elijah offers to carry, but I'm assuming Ordell is happy to carry.
No, yeah, Ordell holds on to her. Like where Joel's carrying Ellie, that's the kind of walk Ordell's doing.
Yeah. Elijah says, "You can come along, all of you. Just don't talk to anybody unless I tell you."
I'm gonna grab Ritter towards the back of the group and just like kind of separate back from the group with him.
You kind of help him up and force him to follow along with the rest. Not like a push, but just kind of,
Yeah.
in doing so, make it so that he has to. He quickly kind of tries to ready himself. You can see he wipes a small tear away before walking and keeping his head kind of down as he was told. Everybody following?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, sort of. I'm gonna take Ritter and just actually like stop as the group is going with him, and
Okay.
it's just as much strength to have not shot as it would have been to shoot. Just so you know. It draws from the same place.
Ritter, in a weird show of emotion for him compared to what you've seen, kind of like somebody who hasn't seen a family member in a long time, throws his arms over you in a heavy, heavy hug. Like somebody who hasn't been hugged in years. It almost hurts with your reluctance for bludgeoning damage as he squeezes your bones and your ribcage flex as a result of it. He doesn't say a word, and he doesn't expect you to say one either. Before he lets
kind
go.
of awkwardly stand there with the arms to the side, getting the hug, and then just give a nod and go with the group.
You can hear him bring in a sniffle before you both return to the group and follow along. As you're walking, are you all looking around or kind of keeping your heads down as kind of roughly implied?
I was just walking.
Get down for sure.
Down? Ash? Emma?
I might be looking around, not trying to draw. I mean, yeah, how can she not draw attention to her? She's a glowing skeleton, lich-looking motherfucker. So you know,
Accurate.
So she's just like looking around.
Ashwin?
I'll probably be by Winter's side, not knowing what to do, but trying her best to do anything. Just
You kind of
guiding her, giving her words of wisdom or comfort.
We'll say you kind of help keep her head elevated to where it's not leaning off the back of Ordell's arms. So we'll say you're focused on that. Emma, you're going to look around. XC, you're going to keep your head down. Ritter is going to look, but try and kind of be subtle about it as he does so. But Ordell, as you're walking, Elijah leads you to a small cellar that he opens the door from. But on the way there, Emma, you would see several piles of what must be dozens of bodies that have been burnt to a crisp here. Absolutely incinerated. The smoke and the smell of the burnt flesh is still prevalent. All of you can smell it, though Emma actively takes a look at it. And Emma, as you do so, you see a woman sitting there with hood off, scarred facial features and a ponytail tight, pulling her hair back. Muscular, she looks up at you. You can see a sword much like Elijah's on her side, and you can see what you can only describe as hate in her eyes as she stares at you. And you see several other people looking at you, what must be half a dozen people in similar attire to Elijah's, all eyeing you, and you can not only see them but feel them on the back of your head as you follow along with this group.
Would Emma have any knowledge of this paladin order before going into the ring?
Now that the mark has been shown to you, roll history at disadvantage since you were in the ring for so long.
History is a +5, so...
Oh, also,
So,
while you're doing that, because Drakowin guessed somewhat correctly about Ritter's name, I will tell you if you got clues right, he is definitely made after Mads Mikkelsen from Rogue One, but you got to tell me how Ritter Osri came into being, the exact how to get the 5 inspos to give somebody. Just saying. So what was your history? Disadvantage?
15.
15.
At 15 at disadvantage.
You have not heard of an order like this. You have not heard of paladins, which is the best thing you can describe them with their heavy armor here, that worship any sort of flame, nor that put bodies to the fire. This is new and surprising for you.
So with that, I guess Emma would be looking around with more curiosity than like fear or anything like that.
Okay. As Elijah opens the cellar door, he gestures down for Ordell, Ashrin, and Winter to go in first.
Yeah, we follow. Well, I follow.
I was
I will stand at the door.
You gonna stay outside, Exy?
I'm going to stand next to the door, yes.
Okay. Elijah is going to open the door and allow them to go through. Ashrin, you hold her head and still go down? Okay. Elijah stands and holds back against the wall. Hey, Raiders! Back against the wall with Exy as if he's not supposed to be down there. Emma, do you and Ritter go down?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. XC, you and Elijah now stand at the top of the cellar door. Ordell, Winter, and Ashrin walk down these stone steps to what is a completely destroyed house from above, but the cellar still stands. As you move down, the smell of iron and blood fills your nostrils. When you walk down, you begin to see small candle lights that illuminate the room, and you see what is a setup triage area here is the best way that it can be described. What once must have been a butcher's room has been reallocated as a triage area, as you see one man laying on the table lacking a leg with bandages wrapped around where his left leg once was, and you can smell again that burnt flesh kind of in the air. But what you do see are two warforged that seem to be tending to his wounds, both of them having that same brightly glowing symbol that is on your chest and on Elijah's hand. These warforged seem to be fueled by flames and coals, where XC is more fueled by electricity and mechanical means. These warforged, one of them is finishing up the bandages around the leg. However, the other one that's kind of putting a damp cloth to this man's forehead, who seems to be passed out there, looks up to you. The one touching with the damp cloth says, "Who are you?"
Ordell doesn't speak. He's just gonna use, because I've only used like two. I'm gonna use another rage and just show them the symbol and the glowing markings all over my body.
As it quickly just apparates, the two of them look towards each other. "Who allowed you down here? Is everyone dead above?"
Elijah let us down.
They both look at each other in unison before turning back towards you. "You look hurt." Before they both quickly grab underneath the shoulders and the remaining leg of the man, seeming now to not think he's as much of a priority, lay him on the ground and open the table up for you.
She is the priority first. I could walk this off, I'm sure.
The two of
As
them
I
look,
place her Winter down.
the two of them look towards each other. "You must be healed first. That would be priority."
And I am saying that if you want to speak to me about this symbol and these things glowing on me, you will heal her first.
Roll a persuasion or intimidation using your strength if you'd like. But if you do the strength, it's at disadvantage because you are weak AF looking.
Start to whimper
That's
a little
fair.
bit in the background.
I'll take the disadvantage actually.
If Ashrin whimpers, she could give you advantage on a persuasion.
I mean, I'll take the whichever.
However you want to do it. You want to
Is
persuade or
Ashrin
intimidate him?
doing the thing? I won't touch the dice, but Ashrin, are you?
Ashrin said
I
she was
am
whimpering.
whimpering.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, then if it's advantage on a persuasion, my persuasion is only +1. That's an unnatural 20.
A net 20.
It was a 19 and a 2.
They look at each other. The fires in their chest briefly turn like a bright blue before turning back to a regular red flame. And they say, "Place her here."
Ordell places her down and making sure her head is very last very gently, and he's just like keeping eye contact with her because she's still awake.
Remember, Winter, you will survive this, because you have to keep being strange with us, all okay?
Of course. Thank all of you. Be gentle.
Am I in the same room?
Yeah, you and the only
Okay.
one who's not is XC and Elijah.
Emma's gonna peek over and be like, "Remember, don't heal her with healing."
Yes, she needs necrotic means to mend her wounds, but her physical means, I think, can be similar to me.
The Warforged both immediately move backwards, say, "We cannot deal in the necrotic, but we can heal her wounds."
If you heal her wounds, my friend here can heal her the rest.
As I put my hand on Ashrin's shoulder.
They look at each other and nod heads. One of them reaches underneath the table and pulls out a small clay jug and begins pouring over the top of Winter what can only be best described based on the thickness and the sound it makes coming out of the clay jug as oil. begins pouring it all over Winter's skin as it seeps into her clothing. The other one reaches down underneath, grabbing a rag, and seems to take the oil, and you can begin to smell it. It smells like oil. She begins wiping it up and over on Winter's forehead and sets the rag down off to the side. The entire table almost covered in an oil now. Emma, you see the one with the rag's thumb flip open and a small flame extends before lighting a fire upon Winter's forehead. And suddenly, with a raged Winter erupts in flames. Ashrin and Emma, roll me an Arcana check.
It was very concerned.
Actually, Ashrin would be a religion check for you. Actually, you're a cleric too. It'd be religion for both of you.
Why does everybody forget I'm a cleric?
What do you think?
I don't know. Maybe. Leave me alone. It's a 19 for religion.
13
or
for me.
a 19 for Arcana.
Okay.
Whichever you want.
Ashrin, they are burning your friend alive. Emma, different gods do very different rituals for different healings. You're trusting them this far.
It's just the concerned look like,
Like
It
I literally,
is-
I just start yelling, just yelling, just
It's
you
the.
doing?
Do you yell at them?
Um,
Or Del, you also see them light him a flame or light her a flame and have no
Emma would-
context to this.
Emma would
Well-
reach over to Ashrin and just pat her. It's like, I think it's okay.
XC, you see a sudden jet of firelight come out of the inside of the cellar, and you hear Ashrin scream out, "What are you doing?" You are also
Nope,
muted.
you're muted.
Of course I am. Someone had to do it. So I look over to our new guide. Is that normal?
He holds his hand up and says, "You're healing her."
Biologicals shakes his head and its head and then goes back to standing there.
As Ashrin cries out, "What are you doing?" Winter also begins to cry out in abject pain as the flame turns from red to a bright, fiery blue. As that seems like a solid place to stop for the night. It's 10 o'clock. Why not come back next week where we can really have Brie scream like she's on fire? As yeah, we'll call it right there.
I'm sure that won't scar her children.
No, I'm certain. With that, if you haven't done so yet, make sure you enter the giveaway as we don't have much time left on that. I want to make sure that you can all give it in there, and that would be gonna be
We
neat.
don't have much time.
I actually think I'm gonna change over because I like the suggestion that I saw earlier, and I like it better than the token that was planned. So this token is absolutely going to be that you can directly contact a deity to ask one question. You can give that
That's super
token
Where
to a
are
single player.
you? And I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
I'd like to contact Castagon and see what he's doing.
do it. Perfect. So giveaway's done. Let's see who
Who
wins
won?
this one.
Who won?
With that token, you can allow any single
Magmatoon.
Magmatoon. Congratulations. Either you yourself can ask the question, in which case you can message me if you don't want the party to know, or you can have a single character ask a question to a deity at some point. So if we say like, "Hey, Emma, you get to do it," Emma can ask a question and it'll probably come in a dream or some organic time. It won't just happen randomly, but it'll happen. So Magma, congratulations. You can use that at any time you like. Make sure you come back for the next episode so that you can use it. Thank you everybody for watching. Hope you enjoyed. We'll catch you on episode 10, and players be ready to possibly give the 10 episode recap for 5 inspo points. So
I've got I volunteer as tribute.
Emma just wants more points back so that they can actually get an item this time.
Yep.
Sitting on like 7 inspo, so I mean, I'm also down to add to my
Don't
horde.
use it. Don't use it. I'm just saying it's not worth it.
Make sure you're awake when you use it.
I was awake when I used it. That's the problem. And then you threw rocks at me.
Rocks fall, you get knocked
And I was
unconscious.
not awake anymore. I gotta go make some tequila mix. I'm salty.
No worries. Good night, everybody. It was super fun. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Hey.
Bye.